And we're live.
That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hi, this is Matthew Leach. I played First Sergeant Talbot in Band of Brothers.
Hi, this is licensed battlefield guide Paul Bailey.
Hi, I'm Dale Fetzer.
Hi, I'm John Rothman.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Hi, this is Anthony Bordner. I'm a huge fan of Addressing Gettysburg. It is the greatest and most quality podcast ever. And you're listening to it right now. God, you're so lucky.
Don't ever go on America Got Talent. You won't make it.
Did you say Lincoln?
Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill.
Don't give him
3rd
fuel.
Battalion, 3rd Marine Infantry Regiment.
I could house that load.
You're listening to Addressing
The mayor was there.
Where do you come from?
Ain't nobody got time for that. Duh.
Thank you.
Quiet. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
You guys suck.
Oh, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everybody. Wow, that was close. We almost didn't have it. My buttons weren't loaded for some reason, and that was scary. I wonder if, the other ones aren't either. It's so annoying.
No.
They had a firmware update for the board, and then it added new stuff, which we'll get to later, which is going to be fun. But then the same problems. They didn't fix that problem. So apparently I'm the only one that has that problem.
I'm just going to say I really like the old board.
The little one?
Yeah, because it had a mark button.
Yeah, and they still haven't added one to this one either.
Yeah.
So you're just
really
going to have to
like
get
the mark
professional on...
Listen, I am always professional.
Yeah, no, I understand. But even professionals make mistakes, right?
I've never made a mistake.
First of all, I don't. The only thing I mark on our shows, like on the history shows, are curses, so I could bleep them. I don't take anything out. Or if like a guide is like, there's a question I ask and they go, and then they're going through all the, and it's like 30 seconds of silence and paper rustling. I'll cut that out. But otherwise, I keep everything in, mistakes and all. Makes you human. People like that.
I mark the ones where I mess up the intro.
Yeah, but I keep that in.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do, because it's fun. People like that, too. They like to hear people who are wonderful mess up. And you're wonderful.
Oh.
Okay.
Did you just hear that? He gave me a compliment.
That jovial laugh you hear in the background is Casey Turbin. He's the president, the founder, the chairman of the board of the AG Film Club.
I prefer Czar.
The czar. Also, pull that right to your mouth there,
Right
Casey.
to my mouth.
There you go. And I got that thing because people didn't know how to speak into a microphone on a stand. And then they, let's say this pen here is the microphone on the headset. They sit down, they put it on, and the thing's out like this, and they start talking, and it sounds like they're on the other side of the room. You got to get it right up to your mouth. Howard Cosell had it right to his mouth. There you go.
Here's the thing.
I'd prefer a microphone, but it's cool. I can live with this.
Well, I don't want to say
Then my tonsils now.
Well, because they have one in the back, and I only have 4 inputs for... Anyway.
Can we move this camera angle? Because all you can see is my back fat. Move that. Thank you.
Gotta put my front fat on here. Come on, full 1080.
Seeing that? Lord.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right. Well, so anyway, Casey is, for those of you who are paying attention online, you might have noticed a new Instagram account, new YouTube channel called Addressing Winchester.
Da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da.
And while that's what she said was my guinea pig show as far as producing other people on a new show, this is more of the first in a franchise of the Addressing Gettysburg format. Casey is very much involved in the history and the goings on of his town, Winchester, Virginia. He loves it. Like I love Gettysburg, he loves that, but he grew up there, so it's in his blood.
Not
and his blood.
Bagger.
You're not a carpetbagger like me.
Damn Yankees.
It's in his blood, and his blood is in the soil down there, quite literally. Quite literally.
I
And
cut
your
myself
tears.
a lot of cuts.
And so we're going to I went down there on Tuesday, and we kind of walked around and talked about, okay, so how does this go business-wise? Because I've never done this, and he's never done it. So I'm like, why don't we just figure this out together, and then we'll start a network together, and and because it doesn't always have to be all me, so mostly has to be,
just the camera.
Right. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Tell us a little bit about what you plan to do on Addressing Winchester. You've released some stuff about recently Patsy Cline.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, well, that's Brenda Lee. If you're,
I'm sorry again.
Little Brenda Lee.
Patsy
man.
Cline is don't crazy. That's right.
Fall
That's
to
right.
Pieces, Walking After Midnight.
But didn't Willie Nelson write "I'm Sorry" and "Crazy"?
He wrote "Crazy," and the original lyrics were "Stupid."
Stupid.
I'm stupid.
Right.
Oh, so stupid for loving you, and then we changed it in the studio with Owen Bradley.
Crazy makes sense.
Yeah,
Crazy's better, I think.
And if the story behind that is Patsy, with Willie, he's so notoriously behind the beat and doesn't really sing. He kind of talks.
Right.
It took Patsy a week to get even behind the lyrics. She heard the demo, and he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Came in the studio. They sent her home to come back because she had to wrap her mind around this, Texan that couldn't. I'm crazy, And Patsy's like, I'm like Billie Holiday. Let me get up here and belt.
Right.
So.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So now she's from Winchester.
Born in Winchester. Yeah.
No, tell me, the poor lady. She had quite a hard time there. They weren't really nice to her, were they?
They weren't. So there's been a lot of Patsy's legacy issues in Winchester, and I would just say I would frame that issue by saying if you come to Winchester today, it was really bad 20 years ago, but if you came today and said, I want to tour everything Patsy, you have the house, which has been preserved well. Celebrating Patsy Cline Inc. is a great organization. They've done a lot with what they have. Besides that, no statues.
I was just going to ask.
No,
statue,
I mean, I actually, this is kind of embarrassing. I have a tattoo of Patsy Cline. I've never been to her actual gravesite. So I went the other day and went to walk around. And they had the bell tower that was erected 20 years after her life, but there's no path. You really got to look.
Wait a second. You took me to her gravesite last year.
No, we went out and saw the bell tower, but I mean physically get out and walk up.
Yeah, we walked.
Did you?
Yes, we stepped in the goose poop and everything.
No, okay, yeah, no. So I'm talking right up to the actual stone, though. Like you didn't walk out. Her actual nameplate is a couple hundred yards away from the tower.
Okay, I don't remember exactly. I assume we did. Okay,
No,
so I guess not.
So they put this.
I'll have
tower
to look at my
up.
pictures.
Yeah, they put this tower up years and years later after the fact. It was more of like a fan movement than Winchester itself. So pretty much everything that's been done in Patsy's honor has been fan-generated, local, not like the town saying we want to promote her like Stonewall Jackson, George Washington, you name it. So
traitor. So what was the problem with Patsy? Why was Winchester not nice to her in her lifetime?
In the simplest terms, she was born on the wrong side of the tracks. Winchester quite literally has a proverbial right and wrong side of the track. She was from the west side of town. On the south and east side of town is where the wealthy people live, where the local high school was. She was dirt poor. When she moves to Winchester full time, she's about 16 years old. You watch the video I just put up today. I won't break it here. There are some traumatic circumstances in her childhood that kind of lead to her having this hardscrabble life. She ends up getting her first break with a band leader named Bill Peer and the Melody Boys. She gets kind of caught in an affair with him. It's all very public. So, I mean, she's literally a child. She's 21 years old when she marries for the first time. But all of this gets caught up in that 1950s social mess.
Yeah.
And
she wore shorts.
Well, she wore pants. So
pants.
And this is a time like
something.
Are you ever watching these old videos? These like people singing. It's always like a creepy guy like Porter Wagner being like, and now coming to the stage is pretty little lady. That sort of creep. It's never just
that cute little thing.
Silly little thing from Virginia. Every time it happens, and that's just what the culture was. She was supposed to be part of the scene, but not the scene itself. And what goes on to happen is Patsy has a Vegas residency for 35 days. She sings at the Hollywood Bowl with Patsy Cline. She's the first woman inducted into the Music Hall of Fame as a solo artist. She's an icon. And Winchester doesn't even have a proper actual museum for her where you can go look behind glass cases and see things. They actually missed out on it, and it went to Nashville in 2015.
But then when she becomes famous, does Winchester look at her differently?
I would say that she becomes, and I say this in the video, that she becomes infamous in town.
Okay.
In the sense that she would come home and like walk around town in her rollers and her hair, even though she was like just on Arthur Godfrey or TV the night before. So they were used to her. But then when she ends up passing very young, she's 30 when she dies in the plane crash. Her mother lives in town for 35 years after that. So Patsy really doesn't leave the town. Her mom, who was like her best friend, lives in the house across the street until the day she dies.
How do they treat her mom?
So Hilda died in 1998. I'm born in 88, so I can remember Hilda's car being parked on Kent Street. I would say that she was kind of a reclusive, not in a bad way, but she was a quiet, kind of bitter because she knew how the town treated her daughter.
And she stayed. I'm surprised she stayed.
Yeah, and Patsy wasn't a super wealthy woman, even in her passing. Like her estate and stuff went to her husband, Charlie Dick, that did a lot to promote, and she had kids, but there weren't millions and millions and millions of dollars for her mom to buy some estate and move out of town for her.
So you did how many videos on her?
So there's a 3-part series. First one's up now. First one's on her early life. The second one's going to be on the peaks. And then the third video will be about her death and legacy. Spoke with an airplane expert talking about the crash and stuff.
Cool.
And
that's cool.
Yeah.
So now it's not a Patsy Cline in Winchester show, though. I mean, that's the thing. You're also talking a lot of Civil War history.
A lot of Civil War
history.
history.
There's George Washington history.
Daniel Morgan.
That's
right?
That's
going to be my next
him.
series, Daniel Morgan. We also, maybe not for the best, we're the home of probably the worst Dixiecrat governor, kind of in that Strom Thurmond, Wallace kind of range. Harry F. Byrd was an incredibly prolific and important figure. The mind behind massive resistance, the closing of schools in the face of integration, comes right out of Harry F. Byrd, Winchester. He owned the local newspaper, so I'll do a series on him as well. His brother was an Arctic explorer. I mean, a very impressive and prolific family. So.
It is a beautiful. Have you ever been?
No.
You should go.
Yeah. I should, but nobody ever invites me to go.
well, let's tell you something.
Just
Matt told me he might invite you down there. So.
Wait, Matt told you not to invite me?
He said he might invite you down there. He was talking about maybe a live show down there.
Yeah, I might do a live show, and I might invite you. I might let you know when it is.
Like even potentially like an AG Today or something.
Maybe.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Maybe.
Like something real raucous.
Something. Maybe. But we'll see.
I noticed that you don't take me out in public anymore.
Well, you have a 4-year-old.
We're not in a relationship.
No, we're not in a relationship. Cindy and I are in a relationship.
I meant like this kind of.
Of course we are. But you have a child. What are you going to do? And by the way, I don't go hanging out or painting the town red like I used to anymore. Okay, I got to protect my liver. I can't be doing that. So I go home.
He takes me to Montezuma's or to Labella's after it's dark.
When it's dark.
So no one can see us walk in.
Candlelit restaurant.
And everything's closing down.
Yeah, and everything's closing down.
No witnesses.
There's no one there. It's like, how can I hide this crazy lady?
I made sure that none of their security cameras have night vision.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it works. But really, I don't really do anything. Cindy, how boring am I at home?
Not boring.
I mean,
you gotta cool. You gotta.
No, I mean I'm fun to be around, but like, how boring? As like, I don't really get into stuff.
That. She didn't say you were fun to be around.
Very routine.
Very routine. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm mentally drained by the time I'm done with my day. I go home and I veg out. But also, it's been winter, So you'll see. In the summertime, I'm more
out and about.
I'm more apt to get out and do something because I don't want to waste the sun.
You do realize that when we leave here, probably tonight, it'll be a little bit daylight out. Are we going to have to wait a half an hour before we go anywhere?
Wait, what?
That's why the shows have been longer.
Yeah. It's going to be a 4-hour show by the time June comes around.
We don't want to see Bethany out in the real world.
It makes 2 of us, Bethany, because I'm with you on this.
I'm hideous.
You're the Quasimodo.
You're not alone.
My back fat and all.
You're back fat.
Oh, Lord.
So we're going to get into more of this later,
Okay.
But I want to show you just a couple of things that came across my desk in the past week. There is you know what a collective is? It's a group. So there's a group of musicians.
To do something?
There's a group of musicians out in Pittsburgh that love this show.
As they should, because they're from Pittsburgh.
And but there's like 30 of them, and they all are like they're like really good, and they're all good in different disciplines and things like that. And and so
I like the pause for you to scratch your neck.
So they decided over the last several months or so, since you came on, that they're going to start writing these 30-second little, not really jingles, but just little songs.
Oh, God. Okay.
About all of our quirky personality traits and things like that, and just things with the show.
So nothing about me because I'm not quirky. I'm totally.
No, you're very quirky. You're the epitome of quirky.
Epitome.
So here's the thing. Colby never watches the show when he's not here. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna show you some of the ones that we have for him.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'll play one, like yours and mine and things like that. Okay. Actually, no. I'm gonna do one of yours. Okay.
Okay.
This is pretty sweet. This one here.
Sweet.
Bethany, oh Bethany, how many cars slammed into buildings today? Bethany, oh Bethany, will you read the headlines today? Bethany, oh Bethany, your news surely makes the show. Bethany, oh hey, come on girl and house that low.
Okay.
Go ahead, girl. House that loaf.
Okay. I don't know who sang that, but she has a lovely voice.
Her name is Kimberly.
Kimberly, you have a lovely voice. And that's the first time ever anybody's ever sang a song.
Yeah.
Well, you wait.
Now, okay, so now another thing.
There's more.
There's more. Now, let's see. Now,
so cute.
Okay, so Colby, they've noticed Colby does a lot of things that are kind of quirky. One of them is that he tells us that he was in the Marines.
No.
Yeah.
He's never done that.
No, I know. And so the idea of this is there's a couple of them here. There's a few versions of this idea.
Okay.
And the idea is he starts talking about the Marine here for a second. Here, not Colby, Casey.
Yeah.
Pretend you're Colby. Start talking about when I was in the Marine Corps. Okay. So like Beth and I are talking. Interrupt and talk about that.
Well, hey guys. Well, that one time in the Marine Corps, I was.
Hey, did you know Colby was in the U.S. Marines?
Double dog.
3rd Battalion, 3rd Regiment, it seems. An only child, but his twin is sometimes here. Say hello to Jeremy McNear. How's that low?
All right.
Oh my God! I didn't know that House That Loaf was going to take
iconic.
on.
It's becoming its own thing.
Everything.
I know.
You got to get a
People
trademark.
are changing their names to have it in there. No, but
somebody else.
I did too. He's a homeless loaf.
Homeless loaf.
We're gonna have the loaf brigade soon out here.
Yeah, and then we have another version.
Hey, did you know Colby was in the Marines? 3rd battalion and 3rd regiment.
So it's the same lyrics, but different.
Child, but his twin is sometimes here. Say hello to Jeremy McNear. How's that
All right, and then there's other times where he'll like I'm having an interview with somebody in here, right, and he'll butt in, and he will go on this long analysis of AG today. The idea of this is a taste of everything, right? Mm-hmm. So when we have a guest in, we go for 25 minutes or so, and you get a taste of it. If you want to go to their store, their restaurant, you got to go and do it yourself, right? We're not going to tell you their whole life story, right? So.
Steering the tongue to America's fall. Mad Bethany, trying to house that love. AG today, wow, what a show!
Oh my God.
So
I don't know who these people are, but I love them. I love every single one of you.
Well, here's the best part, and this is a great example of how their eclecticity,
elasticity. That's right.
Their elasticity ranges here. Listen to this one.
Call me, baby. What the hell you talking about?
Oh.
Call me, baby. What the hell you talking about?
It's gonna be his wife's ringtone, man.
We're just sitting here having a good talk, laughing till the sun comes out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby.
This is fantastic.
That's soulful.
Oh my God, Eric Clapton.
They did one about me.
Matsy, whose blabbing mouth is pressed against microphone, sweet silver breast. Matsy, that may in summer wear general's hat instead of hair.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
It's hard to understand all the words. Did you get all the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing about that one.
Yeah.
Like, her voice is awesome.
Yeah, it's like
it
70s.
It sounds like
it's a different girl. These are different people.
Yeah,
it's the fifth Pointer Sister.
It's the fifth. That's right. It's the one who's still alive.
Fantastic.
How about this one? When Colby's always trying to get me to go to the gym.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, nah, bruh. Let's hit the gym. Yeah, nah, bruh. Let's get you slim. Yeah, nah, bruh. 70-mile ruck. Yeah, nah, bruh. Gonna make you pull a truck. House that low.
All of them have House That Loaf in it.
Of course.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
You're always hungry. At the
I
end,
am
by the end
hungry.
of the show.
I'm starving right now.
And here's one to hold you over. And every
God.
time you
Oh my
start,
God.
when we're in the last segment, you start talking about food, I'm going to play this for you.
I understand that you're hungry, Bethany. Just hold on a little longer, my friend. Soon you will see a meal's waiting for thee when this show comes to an end. Just picture your favorite table, Bethany, with napkins and friends singing songs. Meth head walks out and hands you a plate of scrumptious chicken bones.
I didn't know I talked about that on here. Did I talk about that on here?
No, I gave them some.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait.
I was like, oh my God.
She's like, I have a policy of not saying meth head in public.
Well, I didn't want to get anybody in trouble.
No, we didn't say the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
Hold on now.
Oh my God, that was amazing. meth head comes out.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God. I really hope Katie is listening to this so she can be playing it for my sister.
Okay, and then there's another version of that one here.
Okay.
So that we don't get used. Oh no, sorry, wait. That one is not. Okay, no, there isn't. That was it. That's the only version. This one here is based on how Alderson Broaddus closed its doors because they became a joke on the show because Cam mispronounced it.
Poor Alderson Broaddus, her door now closed. Decades more of learning we all suppose. One day on a podcast, West Virginia's own mispronounced the name and a joke was born. So long Aldersman Broaddus and sitting high on the hill. Our memories are many and our hearts they do swell for great times on Broaddus Hill.
I have a hard time with names sometimes.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they really are talented. They really can do any kind of music.
Can we meet these people?
I'm sure someday we can get them out here. I don't know. Here's another one.
Poor Alderson Broaddus, her door now closed. A decade's more of learning, we all supposed. But one day on a podcast, West Virginia's own mispronounced the name and a joke was born. So long Aldersman Broaddus and sitting down. Our memories are many and our hearts they do swell for great times on Broaddus Hill.
Wrong way Twitty right there.
Wrong way Twitty.
That was awesome.
Call me, baby. Were you ever in the Marines? Call me, baby. Were you ever in the Marines?
Oh my God.
Well, the audience never knew that. Now they're brought up to speed.
Bethany, oh Bethany, how many cars slammed into buildings today? Bethany, oh Bethany, will you read the headlines for me? Bethany, oh Bethany, your news surely makes the show. Bethany, oh E-He, come on girl and house that load.
Oh my God, my gut hurts. Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
so how did this come about? This whole situation.
You know, one day I just got an email, and they were like, "Hey, we love your show. You know, here's like this." They sent me their stuff, and I was like, "Damn, these people are talented."
Yeah,
and they do it for fun. They don't even really like they play out sometimes. But not all the time.
Yeah.
They're called the Walk Tallers. That's the name of the Walk Tallers.
Okay.
And you can't find anything about them online. I Googled them.
Really?
Like, they don't even have a YouTube channel.
What?
Yeah, I don't understand it because they're so talented. They should be showing off how talented they are.
Yeah.
They're out of Pittsburgh, the Walk Tallers. That's what they call themselves. And they're all people who are married with kids, and they just have musical talent coming out their pores. And they decided this is what they were going to do, and
they're from Pittsburgh.
A couple dumb muses down here in Gettysburg, and put them right to work.
yeah. And so that's it. That's how it goes.
Well, not only am I honored that somebody from the western part of the state, is listening to me,
right?
That they decided to make songs with me, but my name is in a song.
Isn't that something? Does it make you feel good?
I'm so excited.
Jesus. Well, you know what? We'll do one more time. As we go to commercial, we'll listen to that. We'll be right back after these words with Cindy from Cindy's Country Store. Okay? We'll be right back.
Bethany, oh Bethany, how many cars slammed into buildings today? Bethany, oh Bethany, will you read the headlines today? Bethany, oh Bethany, your news surely makes the show. Bethany, oh E-He, come on girl and house that load.
The mayor was there.
Hey Gettys nerds, 2024 is shaping up to be a fun year for Addressing Gettysburg, and we want you to join us. Our Get Out of the Car tours, put together and led by licensed Battlefield guide Louis Trott, kick off in April and will be available at a later date for the first time ever on our YouTube channel. Speaking of our YouTube channel, Gettysburg National Military Park's Winter Lecture Series is available exclusively over there from January through March. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single one. We have much more in the works, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now for free on Patreon. We hope to get to meet and spend time with many of you this year as we spread the word about the Battle of Gettysburg and the Civil War. Help us teach the masses that history is not boring. Movies and documentaries about history are spread out across the internet, and their quality is often suspect. History Fix delivers curated historic programming to your preferred device using their website or branded apps. Join History Fix for movies, documentaries, short films, and how-tos. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive 20% off their first annual subscription. So what are you waiting for? Sign up at www.historyfix.com and use promo code ADGBURG. That's ADGBURG.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinwehr Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, The Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast.
We hate abbreviations. Welcome back to AGT. Okay, where's the writer?
I'm right here, Huevos. Right here. Hi, everybody. We're back now on AG today.
Yes.
AGT.
AGT.
And, we like to save the second segment for business owners or, friends of the show, historians, whoever. Last week we had Peter Carmichael on. And it ended up going an hour and a half or something like that with old Pete because Pete can really not shut his mouth is really what it was. But
pretty sure Matt did some talking in there too.
A little bit of talking. But today we have somebody who is not only a business owner here in Gettysburg, Beth, but she is an adoring fan of ours.
I am.
And
We're
her
a
name
fan of yours.
Her name is
thank
Cindy.
you.
Cindy.
Hello.
Pronounce the last name, please. I forget.
Chitsulo.
Shitsulo?
Yeah. Well, think of Chow. CIA.
Chow.
I say
Chizulo.
Chasulo.
Chasulo.
Ron and his family say Casulo. But I say Cha.
Cha. Like Chow.
And you gotta go like this.
Chiasulo. Chasulo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cindy, she owns Cindy's Country Store at 240 Steinwehr Avenue, and she's here to tell us the wonderful tale of her journey to Gettysburg. You're from Connecticut.
I'm originally from Reading, Pennsylvania.
Are you now?
I am.
So you're back to your native soil.
I am.
Does it feel good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how long were you in Connecticut for?
Oh boy, about 37 years.
And now Connecticut is like, the same area, New York, New Jersey, the whole thing. And to me, it's, it's nice. Connecticut's nice. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like, you gotta have some dough.
That is a true statement. I've
Right.
always felt that
For the
people
nice
from
parts.
Connecticut have a lot of money.
Have a lot of money and a lot of attitude. Okay. My friend Jeff, big attitude. He's from Connecticut.
Really?
No. Not really. He's a great guy.
I was going to say, I don't know. I can honestly say I know 2 people now from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 4 people now from Connecticut.
This is Jeff, by the way.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Anyway, so you're up in Connecticut for 37 years, you said?
Yeah. About,
okay.
Yeah.
You have a family up there and everything like that, and then but you're always interested in Gettysburg, or how does this work?
Well, I met Ron when I was in my early 20s.
Ron's your husband.
Yep.
Okay. Your early 20s.
And
you're in your early 30s now.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes, thank you. And when I told him where I was from, I think the first thing he said was, "Did you ever go to Gettysburg?"
That's the first thing I said to Cindy. Yeah.
Did you ever go to Gettysburg?
It sounds exactly like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ron. And I said, yes, I can still smell those bologna sandwiches rotting on the bus.
The
field
school
trips.
trip, yeah.
And those metal lunch boxes.
Ugh. Oh, God, yeah. That was so disgusting.
Yeah.
And then your mom
And
would
the
make
fruit.
chocolate milk. She'd put chocolate milk in the thermos, and it would be all nasty by the lunchtime.
Chunky, yeah.
So chocolate chunks. But it wasn't chunks of chocolate.
What are you guys doing?
Well, in our day, we had metal lunch boxes. We didn't have
We're
plastic.
old. Yeah.
You don't know this?
We got box lunches from somewhere here in Gettysburg.
Well, yeah. Well,
Like
you didn't have to
normal
go far
people
for
do.
your field trips.
It was
you
4
didn't live here.
hours
Yeah,
away.
that's right.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I forgot. So, okay, but did you have metal lunch boxes when you were a kid? Or were they phased out and turned to plastic where you can get all those?
When I was a kid, they didn't even have lunch boxes.
That's not true. They have them back in the olden days.
We used a paper sack that the flour had come in the week before.
It's going to be another hour-long interview if you don't stop with the Jimmy Stewart.
Don't talk about my cousin that way.
Are you really related to Jimmy Stewart? Well, this is about Cindy. Can we get back to Cindy?
I love Jimmy Stewart.
We all love Jimmy Stewart. That's not the point. Cindy, when did you see your first Jimmy Stewart movie?
When I was a kid. Yeah.
And you love Jimmy Stewart?
Oh,
We
love
don't care about Jimmy Stewart.
Well.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Mary. What does he say about the moon? If you want the moon, Mary?
Yeah.
I'll reach up and grab it, pull it down, or something like that.
That stutter is a family trait.
Yeah? I notice you do it a lot. Yeah. When you're doing the headlines, you're like, more people are dead.
I'm going to throw something at him. So we got to get through this so that we have the break so I can throw something at him.
Okay.
All right, but anyway, let's get back to you.
So tell us about the store.
Thank you.
How did that
let's work our way to the store.
Okay.
Tell us about the store. Okay, goodbye. So, all right. So you, you start going to Gettysburg with your husband Ron. Well, he's not your husband yet, right?
Yeah, he's
But
not
he's
my
into
husband
it.
yet. But then he was like lightning struck me, and we
Is
got
he a
married.
nerd?
And yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
And did you become
But a cool nerd?
You became a nerd, a Getty's nerd, because of him.
Sure, yeah.
No?
Yeah, I didn't really go. He met somebody.
Uh-oh.
And he said, his name was Andy. And he said, this guy wants me, introduced him to reenacting.
Oh, nice.
And he said, do you mind? And I was like, I don't care. Do what you want.
Do you mind if I drop a couple $1,000 and play guns with the boys?
My daughter used to say, my daddy goes to the Civil War. And then
Aww.
she would cry and say, hide behind a rock, Daddy.
Aww.
Yeah.
She
So
thought
we
it
had
was
to
really-
tell her it was like play,
Oh.
make believe. But he was the one that came down here all the time. We came down a few times, and then we brought the kids down, and it was great. But it was really his thing, and I kind of stayed back. And
you didn't? Did you like the area though?
oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I
but you just didn't want to come to all the crap.
Yeah, I was busy. I was, working, and it was his thing. He
I
was
get
doing
it.
the reenacting thing. And
Now, did you have a store in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how does that
Yes.
start?
So I was working in a
When
country
does that
store.
start? Is that starting in your 20s, or when do you start that?
I started working for people that had a country store, and they wanted to kind of retire a little bit, and they kept offering, do you want to rent down here and open your store? And we weren't ready, and then one day we talked about it. And Ron actually had taken the test to be the guide.
Oh, okay.
Came real close to the cutoff. And, okay, we're staying in Connecticut. And they said, you want to rent some space from us and open a store? And he said, well, sure, let's do it. So he's a music teacher.
Right.
So
right.
he continued to do that, and I opened my store, and everything was going well, perfect, thriving, Amish furniture. And he would come down to Lancaster, pick up my orders, but he didn't stay there. He stayed here. So it was great because he would say to one of his buddies that he reenacted with, who wants to go to Gettysburg, and help me load the truck. Load the truck, and they would stay here for a weekend, and so that's what we did for years. Yeah,
I think that's a great arrangement.
Yeah,
I'll drive you to Gettysburg, but you gotta load all this stuff onto my.
The guys loved it, and Ron, he not only loved coming because of Gettysburg, but he did stay in other places. He stayed in Lancaster one or two times. He stayed with my sister. She's in Pennsylvania. But for him, he just loved meeting the Amish. We made friends with them, and he loved the whole thing.
Are they allowed to be friends with people who use electricity?
Yes.
Okay. I was. What do I know?
No, it's all secret.
Yeah, but they can't marry.
They hide it. They sneak us in.
They can't marry them though.
No, I think they'd have to leave.
You have to, become.
Somebody has to. You'd have to become Amish.
Yeah.
Well, you usually leave the faith.
Right. So you become English. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So now, but this story though. So the Connecticut to Gettysburg story is not without its hardship and tears, right?
Yes, and I'll try to get through it.
Tell us. Well, if you.
Without you have tissues, because I can't.
don't have
it's hard
tissues.
for me to tell the story.
She used all the goddamn tissues. So you have a sleeve, right?
Yeah, I got this. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so we're moving along. We have our business. Ron's a music teacher. Our kids are growing up and kind of doing their own thing. And Ron was struck with a neurological disorder. And see, I can't.
No, go.
Sorry,
go.
Ron.
This will be good for rating.
Yeah.
Cry.
The cry. Bring back the crying girl.
Yeah.
I can't. It's very hard for me to get.
They're gonna bring eye wipers for you.
Okay.
Here you go, Cindy, to the rescue.
You're a doll. Thank you.
We've got
sheets, napkins for you. Dry those tears. Why the sheets not?
So he was starting this tingling, and they couldn't figure it out, and tests and spinal tap and MRIs and you name it. So he went from a limp to a walker, and finally there was all the doctors were at a loss. And I hope I get the story straight, Ron. And there was a doctor.
Ron,
Yale.
you can just yell if he gets it wrong because I have the microphone open back there. Okay, doing good.
So there was a doctor at Yale that the neurologists were starting to all talk to each other, what's wrong with this guy? And so there was a doctor at Yale that heard about him, and they made an appointment, and he went to see him. And one thing about Ron is I'll go by myself. And they said, okay, we're going to do tests, and we'll, let you know in 2-3 weeks. And Ron said, no, we're going to find out right now, because I know I'm at my end. If it would have gone another 2 or 3 weeks, he would be a lot worse than he is today. So they said, you want a bed? You want to stay? And he said, yeah. So he stayed in the hospital. They actually told him to go home. There wasn't a bed. So my son took him back into the emergency room. He came home, had a nice big pastrami sandwich, and was really excited to go.
On rye?
Yeah. And so he went in, and they put him in a bed in the emergency room. He never really had his own room. They put him here and there, and they did some tests, and they diagnosed him with transverse myelitis. And that is when you have a virus It triggers an autoimmune this disease, and lesions form on your spine.
Oh.
The inflammation, and so his lesions are low.
Okay.
He does have one up here, but what it does is it cuts communication from your brain, hits those lesions in the.
Yeah.
So
doesn't know where to go.
Right, and some people they're like, well, can he think? Can he? Do you have to feed him? His brain is fine. He's still driving me nuts. He's still around, you know. So basically, he was starting to get tingling in his arms. And what they do to stop it is they give you a strong steroid IV. So it stops the attack on your body, but you leave the hospital the way you walked in. There's no cure.
Okay, so it's just a temporary.
It just stops,
stops the progression.
Yeah, right. And that caused all kinds of problems.
Just a couple of doses stop it, or he needs to keep taking
No,
it?
he's okay. He doesn't need that.
Okay.
So, so he came home, and then it was, what do we do? So they said, well, you're going to need physical therapy. Okay. So that was pretty much all they said. So we researched stuff on our own. And I said, well, what about aquatherapy? What about this? What about acupuncture? What about...
Yeah.
And every time I looked up his diagnosis, what came up was Johns Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
And one day how long does it take to get to Johns Hopkins from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania? And that answer was 1 hour and 17 minutes. And one day I said to him, let's go. And he said, because we were really close with our kids. Our daughter lived with us. And he said, you're going to leave the kids and you're going to close your store and leave our life? And I said, yeah, we are.
And here we are.
So you moved on down.
So
you decided you're going to move on down.
Yep.
Down here.
Yep.
And did that take you a while? Because I know a lot of people have been trying to move here, and they're having a hard time finding a place to move into. Did you kind of get lucky with the house, or?
Well, what we knew, we started to, you talk to agents, and you make an appointment, and houses were going like this.
Oh yeah.
So finally, I said, well, wait a minute. We need a community that's going to do the lawn and do these things, because all that stuff stopped.
Mm-hmm.
We needed help from our kids. Helped a lot. My daughter helped me with the shop. She was great. And so we needed something that was going to be, first of all, no stairs. We had a raised ranch, so the guy was living in the basement, and the kitchen's upstairs.
Back in Connecticut.
Yeah, the kitchen's upstairs. So we knew we couldn't do that.
Why wouldn't you let him upstairs? He's driving crazy.
Go downstairs.
Yeah.
So
in the basement, Ron.
I mean, the good thing is it was a full family room with a full bath, and he could go out to the garage. He always could drive.
Interesting.
Yeah, his left is worse than his right.
Okay.
He could always drive.
Well, you need your right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need your left.
Yeah, except for my car. I have a 24-year-old car with stick shift. So.
Oh, you need your left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started to look up communities, and we found one, and there was a new one being built. And he came down a few times with friends because they helped him in the hotel room and stuff. And that was fun because I never saw my house until the day I moved in, which is interesting. Most women would be like, that's not happening. But
right. You bought it sight unseen.
Yeah.
Did he see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in it, I think, twice before, but he came down with his friends.
And how did he do? Was it like...
I love my house.
Okay.
I love my house.
I'm pretty sure if Mark had done that for me, I'd be moving very shortly.
I
after
love
we
it.
moved in.
I mean, I saw pictures of it and I saw the footprint. I was like looking at that blueprint all the time.
Yeah.
But it was great because he came down with friends, and his friends have been wonderful. So the developer was FaceTiming me, and you could see the guys in the background. And when he came home, I said, when the guy was FaceTiming, I could see you and your friends at the window pointing out the back window. What were you pointing at? He said, Little Round Top. So I was like, that's the house.
There you go.
Yeah, so we can see Little Round Top from the back.
That is nice.
Yeah, and I love it. I do. Good job, Ron.
So you move. So you move your home,
Mm-hmm.
but now you got to move your business.
Well, we came down here, and my daughter was working in the business. We decided, okay, we got to shut it down. So we went back, and we had a going out of business sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple came in. We thought, well, the rest of the inventory we'll put in storage. And this couple got in touch with us and said, we're going to open a country store, and they bought the rest of my inventory. Goodbye.
Nice.
And I went left like this.
So
have fun.
So, but now you have to come down here and find a store and get more inventory, or did you have stuff in storage?
Complete scratch.
Complete scratch.
Everything.
You had nothing in storage.
I had nothing. I had
would've
no
been so
register. I had all that was actually stolen. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But
which really,
you know
that's the
story.
juicy story. But you don't want to tell it. I know. Unless you do. Do you? Do you? You don't have to name names. You can just tell us. You don't have to say the town.
Well, basically what happened was when we went to Connecticut, his parents' house was empty because they were snowbirds. So they were down in Florida. So we got to the house. I had these friends. They were police officers. And they said, we're going to bring dinner to you because the house was empty. So I said, come in about an hour. I got to walk into my store. And this was a Tuesday. And just walk in and get those emotions out because the sale was starting the next day.
That's an emotional thing. A lot of people think, it's not, it's not personal. It's just business, and you got to like make it. But even if you're good at making emotionless decisions, like the end of a business is an emotional thing. It's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm. And why we moved and the whole thing.
Oh.
So
Yes.
I just wanted to walk in and, I walk in and I have my key and hit the alarm. And he stayed outside because for him to get in and out I said, just stay outside. And I had no equipment.
What do you mean?
Meaning my iPad, which I used for my register. I had everything was gone. Like even the scanner, to hit the barcodes. Yeah.
Rude.
Stolen.
Called the cops. Perpetrators came in. And that's the end of that story.
Now, I'm not going to divulge who they are, but the perpetrators came in. You say that. It's not like these, how some criminals like to return to the scene of the crime to watch everybody go and, no, it's not like that.
It was like this.
She knew them. Yeah, they came in. Yeah. She knew who it was.
The cops walked in the door and they said, this has got all over it.
Their name all over it. Yeah.
It was just the alarm
code. Was it broken into?
No.
Right.
No, the alarm, there were two codes.
One for the tenant.
Yeah. That my daughter and I used, and then another one. And that was the last code used. And so they all, but they were there that morning. They took pictures. It was just a mess.
It was a mess. But anyway, so there's that.
Beat them up.
Yeah. Karma will get them. Don't worry.
It is.
But you, so you've got that plus Ron's health issues.
Oh, he was doing
insult
horrible.
To injury.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, and so now, but you're moving here. You come down here. The next day though, tell everybody because the next day is the best part when you have the going out of business sale, and people hear about what happened to you. What happens? What do they do? Here we go.
Goodness.
Here we go.
So I put on Facebook, and that's probably why it was not to steal my stuff. It was to stop the sale.
Right.
Which, no, everything we've been through. So I got a calculator and a pencil.
You're going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. And my friends what can I do?
The whole town turned out to help you.
And it's like Jimmy Stewart. See, we're full circle. It's a wonderful life right here in real life.
Can I tell you that?
Go ahead.
Can I just tell you that? I really, really thought that I was at the end of my rope. That's helping. I love it. And people just showed up. And
there they were.
One family said, can I get you ones?
Can I get you one?
What? the garage down the street. The streets were packed with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line was out the door. People were waiting in front of the store. All I did for those few days I was there was cry. It's a blur.
Yeah.
And there was a garage down the street. She walked in and she said, we moved all of the cars that we're working on, and your guests can use our parking lot. I mean, it was just crazy. People that I didn't even know were coming in and saying, we heard what happened and we're just going to buy something because we...
Just to help you out. Just
and,
because.
yeah. And because they...
Word spread fast about what happened, though, right? I mean, is that like overnight?
I just posted on... And I put it on Facebook and I said, oh, yeah, and we were robbed. So... and everyone's like, we know who it is. And I was like, oh, God. But so... Yeah, so we just had this big sale, and I mean, I had one friend come up, and he walked in the door, and he had working gloves on. He goes, "What can I do?"
Really?
And my friends, a lot of them don't know each other.
Right.
They're like my friends.
Yeah. Right.
And they all had a great time.
Yeah.
So they're
laughing. So now they're friends?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But they just had a great time. I was very emotional, and a lot of people were like pulling me away so they could talk to me. And there were people in line like sobbing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you okay? What happened? And they said, we're going to miss you, Cynthia. They said, no, they did. They said, this is my place that I go when I have a bad day. And, you listen to us. And I turned to my husband. I said, I didn't even think she liked me. Because it's the store.
Isn't that funny how that works out sometimes?
Country stores have an ability to do that.
All right, so explain to the audience, for those who don't know, because until I went into yours, I didn't know. What the hell is a country
you're so
store?
New Jersey.
Please.
Well, there's different types, but mine, I love historical stuff.
Right.
So I had prints of the peacemakers with Sherman and Porter and Grant and Lincoln. Did I get it right? And the portraits of Lincoln and Grant sold today. Portrait of Grant sold today.
Nice.
But I also have handmade crafts, primitives, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, think of Little House on the Prairie. Like, seriously, yeah. The mother would make her daughters their dolls.
Right.
And the dolls were played outside, and so everything looks old and coffee stained and that kind of thing. But berries and florals and
plaid.
Yeah. Like,
is it like folk art? Is that
some of it?
Some of it's folk art.
Yeah.
But primitive is a great word.
Primitive.
For it.
Yeah.
So like
anybody
like white, not whitewashed. What do they call that? Distressed wood and things like that.
Yeah, and Amish furniture. So all
they make good furniture. The Amish.
Yeah, they do.
And sheds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a place in Connecticut that does all that, like the gazebos and stuff.
We've got one down here.
Well, one of the things that, because my mother and I and my sister, we go places to seek out country stores.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a thing.
Really?
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like people that like to go antiquing or whatever. There's country store people that go country storing.
Sort of. Like we
Yeah.
purposely go places and drive to go to country stores.
And a lot of the stuff you make in the back, right? It's authentically made by you. You're out there.
I did a little bit of that in my other store. I think I'm going to do a little. I think Ron used to make stuff for the store.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Shelves and little cabinets and stuff.
Now, you're on Steinwehr Avenue. There's a funny story, not a funny story, but a story there that you're at 240 Steinwehr Avenue, which was my first location when I had Gettysburg, not inside where you are, but I was out in the back. If you go there today, there's a shed.
There's a shed
There's
out
a
back.
shed in the back lawn, and right behind the breakfast cottage of the Quality Inn, and that's where we started. I put that shed up, and So the Christs were the people that owned it back then, and they were they're great people because they helped me get my start, and so and it's that property there.
What was there immediately prior to you? That
A
might
fire.
help people.
Flex and Flanagan.
Flex and Flanagan's before the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And people come in like someone came in today. We just want to see. Oh, and there was a staircase here, and there's they're
that's what I
curious
did.
about it. Yeah,
That's what I did when I went in. I'm like,
they're curious.
there used to be a staircase here, went up to the other floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is when Ron would come down here, he stayed at the Quality Inn a lot. So he would be sitting outside while his friend Joe would be eating his banana split. He's very upset that Dairy Queen isn't here anymore. And I would hear music. And he'd say, oh, that's ABC across the street. We're going to go over and, have dinner and have a beer. And so.
And you're right there now.
Yeah. And he would say this would be when they had their fire, and very sad that that happened. But when they renovated it, he said, that'd be a great place. There's nothing like your store down here.
Yeah.
And there really isn't.
No.
And I go, yeah. One day, So when we moved here, the kids were there for the weekend to help us move. And we came down on Thursday. On that Saturday, I said, let's get out of here. Let's just walk through town. We were doing a lot. And we're walking around, and Ron actually dropped us off. So we're walking around, and we ended up at ABC. And I said, let's take home dinner for Dad. And we called him. He said, I'm actually in the parking lot. I said, well, let's go in and have dinner. So we're sitting at a table, and he had been here so many times, and he had done some tours with the red shirt, Ken Rich.
Ken Rich, yeah.
And we're sitting there, and Ken was up at the bar, standing at the bar, and he said, you see that? That's the red shirt.
Was that the day he was doing the Coyote Ugly dance on the bar?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, the mental image.
I thought so.
And Ken walked by, and he, they shook hands, and he said, oh, you're here for the weekend. And Ron said, no, my wife and I just moved in. And he said, listen, every Saturday night, there's a group that comes here for dinner, the Benchies.
Mm-hmm.
You want to join us? We've been going ever
He
since.
didn't invite us to the Benchies.
I've been going. I get an invitation every weekend. I just can't go every weekend. I haven't gone in a while.
Well, Ken, thanks for that.
Well, he doesn't like you. He told me he doesn't like you.
And I've gone out.
Surprised. I almost ran him over with my car.
That's not true.
The other day.
Oh, did you?
accidentally.
Well, now he doesn't like you.
He's such good people.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
And that's where I met you and Ron.
Yeah, and I had on my Getty's gal shirt.
That's right. And I was like, hey, that's my shirt. And you're like, no, it's not. I bought it. And I was like, no. I
said, we
made the
can't have it
shirt.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. She thought I was accusing her of stealing my shirt. I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I said, my husband got it for you. Oh, who's your husband? And I said his name. You said, why is that name familiar?
Yeah.
Because Ron and you were emailing about the getting out of the
get out of the car tours.
Yeah, you just had this correspondence. Yeah.
Right. And so what's the word I'm looking for?
Everything
comes together.
Like Ken
sunrise, sunset. Not
all roads lead
work.
to Gettysburg. That's
all roads lead to Ron and Cindy. Yeah. And so, okay, now how's everything going with the business though? Now that you've started here.
Good. I mean, the support from this community. Let me tell you,
Go ahead.
Gettysburg is so welcoming.
Yeah.
We just won an award for that,
I tell everyone.
Stop telling everybody.
It's
everybody's going to move here. These people need to stop with the
We're
awards
horrible.
and the list.
We're horrible.
This is the worst
people.
place to live.
Don't move here.
I
hate it.
Yes,
I hate it.
I regret moving here.
Oh, people are so mean. The traffic.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, awful.
The
awful.
smells. The smells. I had to throw that in.
The smells. Terrible.
These people spreading poop on their fields all the time.
The
Oh my
homeless
God.
are pooping on the square. It's just terrible. That's actually happening.
Oh my God.
No, it's not happening.
Pooping
Is
on
it
the
happening?
square.
Pooping on the square? I hope not.
I don't literally walk around up there anymore.
Because of the poop. So you don't want to move here.
No.
It's just everybody's
stepping in
just,
it all the time.
Just come and visit for when we have the sidewalks clean. We know when you're visiting.
No, that's
we'll have
in front
it
of
clean.
Rupp House. That's why that big truck was out there.
You clean the sidewalks?
No, we had literal poop.
Human poop?
Yes.
What?
Oh, I'll tell you later.
No, tell me now.
Well, I'll tell you when we're done with this.
Don't you want to know,
segment,
Cindy?
In the
all right,
news
all right,
segment.
fine,
I like
fine.
a good poop story.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good poop story? Yeah. That's going to be on the board. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
So, all right, fine. We'll tell the poop story later. But you go ahead. Now, so how's everything going? Everybody's very welcoming. Go ahead.
Well, people down here are terrible.
Yeah.
But I would go to the grocery store and I would come home and say, Ron, you know how you're coming out of an aisle with your cart and someone's coming and where we came from, they would run you over, give you the finger, and, spit on you. Sorry. And no, I met lovely people. I have wonderful friends in Connecticut. I do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's a little different. Everyone here is like, we love it here. We love it here. And you go and people go, no, you go.
Yeah.
You're at a stop sign and people drive by and they wave.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I know them? No, they're just nice.
Or you're just walking down the street and somebody's walking the other side of the street and they wave to you. We were driving down a real country road, Flores Church Road, a couple of days ago.
And they waved as you went by?
Guy was walking. He wasn't even facing us. And as we walked by, he just went like this. Like waved.
Well,
so
someone told me
rarely
that
do
today.
people come down the road that you assume you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, my
I thought
dad-
they were just being friendly.
Yeah. On my dad's road, that's what happens. And I'm like, do you know that person? Dad's like, never seen him before in my life.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love about
That's what
living here.
happens.
Is everybody's nice. Most people are helpful.
Oh.
It's a great place to live. Because you know why everybody's helpful? Most people are helpful is because they're happy to live here.
Yeah.
And they know what they have, and they're lucky. They know they're lucky.
They purposely moved here.
And they're very happy. They're very eager to help because it's a different nut to crack. It's not a hard nut to crack. It's just a different nut to crack. And where you got to put the nut cracker is different than you do on, say, an almond or a Brazil nut.
I don't know. Yeah. Aw, I love you.
Oh, yeah, great.
She gets you.
I do.
She does.
I do.
So nice.
She does.
I do.
She gets me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, she
I
doesn't.
love you.
She
Yeah,
doesn't.
I do.
She does get you.
Yeah.
She just
I really-
totally did the yes, Matt. Whatever you say,
Yeah,
Matt.
exactly.
That we all do now.
Right. That's not getting
Oh
me.
my
That's
God, I
learning
love
how to.
you.
That's learning how to.
Thank
That's
you.
not the same thing.
Son of a bitch.
So anyway, back to the store.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the things that makes your store so unique is, like you said, there is nothing like that here.
No.
My sister, who is a huge country store human, okay, she and I were talking about this because I had said that you were going to be on the show and da 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 da. And she said, one of the things that is always so interesting to her when she comes here is that you go into a store and there's like the souvenir stuff, but it's very similar in every store. And I said, well, that's because a lot of those places are owned by the same person.
Right.
So they just,
Right.
it's easier for them to have multiple locations and sell stuff than you can't have a bigger store that you're kind of limited by the space.
So you just have more locations.
You just have more
Sure.
locations. So you walk into your store and it's like,
A lot of people
there
walk
are
in
no
and go,
Lincoln
"Oh."
pencils in here.
They go, oh. And there's
That's-
something about a
yeah,
country
yeah.
store
Yeah.
that there's the same things that are said when they walk in.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
yeah. Now, the difference here is my store there was huge. It was giant. It was known, and people traveled. So the town wasn't the destination, which is a cute little town.
Right.
The store was.
Mm-hmm.
So people would come in and say, well, while I'm here, what else in town is
Yeah.
there? A restaurant or
Yeah.
whatever. Here, the town is the destination.
Yeah.
So not everyone is here.
For country store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have to kind of get used to
that.
The curiosity of this used to be Flex and Flanagan, and people
right.
coming in and because they're just shoppers.
Well, but you know what?
They're
though?
browsers.
If you just keep going with your social media, you come on shows like this, and people who are coming here for the history will get to know you more. And that's the thing too, is like, the Ron and Cindy of Sheboygan could be watching right now, and Ron's watching because it's a history show, and Cindy is sitting there because he tied her to the chair and won't let her leave. And she's like, "Oh my God, there's a country
I
store
love
there."
country store.
Oh, well then let's go now. Now we'll go.
A lot of gifts for wives.
Well, I
I've
would
done
imagine,
a lot
yeah.
of, oh, my wife, she's, I love Gettysburg, and she's at home, and I'm here with my buddy, and I'm going to buy a couple.
You know what you should add for the men who were dragged in there by their wives is like some kind of man stuff, like like those soaps or you do.
Mhm.
Oh, perfect.
And I have. It was so cute when they had the weekend reenactors recruitment.
The recruitment, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a reenactor that came in, and I swear he could have done a commercial for my store. I have a thing with the lye soap, and it fights poison ivy and mosquitoes. And everyone that walked in, you got to get this soap. All my other friends that are reenactors, they're like, why don't you have bugs on you? And why don't you have poison ivy? Because I
Really?
get this soap. So, and then there's the print. I have
Harry?
catalog. Yeah.
The Prince.
Yes, Prince Harry.
Prints.
Oh, I'm sorry. Print plural. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Prince Harry. I was like, is he here?
I'm going to get silly now. That just made me laugh. But
It's much better than crying.
But
she's gonna laugh so hard she'll cry.
I probably will. But and I see a lot of people
As long
walking
as she doesn't
by.
laugh so hard she poops on the sidewalk.
And they walk by and they kind of do it like, and then they come in and they're like, oh, this is different. So there are historical prints, and I have
Yeah.
to get more because they're really that's the bit. And some of the bigger prints in Connecticut were the Civil War ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have an opportunity, being that you're in Gettysburg, to kind of create your own take on the country store because of the Gettysburg connection. Like you could, I don't know what, but you could do something with that.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you.
I have some people walk in the door and they're like, Cindy, they're from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's really great. That's really great.
That is cool.
Can I ask a selfish question?
Sure.
So when I worked in retail, one of the things I loved doing was unpacking stuff.
Even though I know what's in there.
Can I just come unpack some stuff sometimes when I get really stressed?
It's like Christmas.
I know.
You know what's in the box.
And it's so great.
Some of the handcrafts, because they're made for my store, they take longer to come here.
Yeah.
They take longer to come here.
I know. Let's make our own show.
So when I open them up, it's like a surprise.
And I would totally do it.
You love
don't-
unpacking. It's
don't,
great.
Don't pay. Like, I don't want to be paid.
I'll call you next time we move.
Whenever, like, I miss that. So Mark will take me, because my husband loves me. He'll take me to the bookstore I used to work at, and I'll go around and pick up all the stuff that people didn't put away and shelve it, because I just want to shelve something because it's cathartic to me. But I have to go all the way to York to do that. And he's like, you're so weird. Like, they're not paying you. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to put something away.
I've had people say to me, can I just come to your store when you open the boxes?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Well, box opening videos on YouTube are very popular, and I don't understand it.
And do you?
Yeah, that I don't.
Do you change things up, like
All the
Halloween and
time.
Christmas?
Oh
my God! Can I come for Halloween?
Yes,
Cindy, please.
It's like a scarecrow, like threw up in my store.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Where have you been my whole life? Oh my God!
Oh my God!
No, it's and then at Christmas time.
Holidays.
Oh my God! I love it.
Yeah. Did you do it for 4th of July?
Actually.
Oh my God! 4th of July.
I always have some Americana, and especially
Oh,
here.
good.
And I am shifting gears a little bit here because I know where I am. I have to. You have to go to your audience, so
Yes.
I
Yes.
have to stay true to who I am and
Sure.
what my story. And I think sometimes that's where you have to identify what your store is.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kind of throw
And
some
that's not
different things in
easy.
there.
That's
Yeah.
not easy.
No, it's very hard to say what you are or what your whatever is. Yeah. No, but I think you have the experience with your old store up in Connecticut, and you have enough of a sense of what everything is here, and Ron is super nerdy about it, so what you don't know, he can fill you in on. And you could probably come up with a really cool, unique country store that you can only find here in Gettysburg, and then you can franchise it to other Civil War towns.
I'm telling you, though, I would put Ron behind the counter. He has a fantastic smile. You could just have him back there smiling at people.
Smile.
He's adorable.
He is so cute.
He is adorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yes. Where is he? Where is that smiling mug? There it is. It's beautiful in the corner over there. All right, so
he's got a great smile.
He does have a great
behind
smile.
The counter and just have him talk to people.
Yeah, I would just sit him on the counter. And
No, he has to be like behind the counter so that people realize that he's meant to be there and not just some creepy guy that's standing out there smiling at people. You have to have him behind the counter. And then just have him like, oh, Ron, get a dog, like a lab, and sit and pet him. And then he can just be back there petting the dog, talking to people about stuff.
Excuse me, sir, how do I get to Emmitsburg? Well, you can't get that from here.
Yeah,
he just sits out there.
Set him up with some maps.
Yeah,
and,
overalls. Put some overalls and a straw hat on him.
He can sit on my lap. I can put my head up.
No.
Drink water while he's singing.
Get some of those big flour barrels that people sit on, and he can just have his own little section back there where he tells people how to get places while petting a dog.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to go up to the square, and you want to go 3/4 of the way around. That'll be on Chambersburg Street.
I just think he should be doing this. Oh my God,
you
I have it in my
about
head.
3 blocks, make a left on the corner. That's the house that you want to go to.
But you don't want, if you get to the tree with the big hole in it, you went the wrong way. Go back the other way.
Right.
You went down the wrong way.
If you see a heroin addict vomiting on the other corner, you've gone too far.
But if you see some poop on the street, you know you're there.
Yeah. Oh my God, please.
That's what we call homeless row.
I don't know when he became Southern, but I
don't know. It's a character. You're making up a character anyway. I mean, make him Southern.
Oh my God. He needs some baseball hats and some plaid shirts that he wears over T-shirts.
Yeah,
he does
like a
that
trucker
anyway.
hat.
Oh my God.
He does
Ron.
that anyway.
She knows him.
I love you.
She knows
I
him.
love you, Ron.
She knows him.
You're my new favorite human.
Just got to put him in overalls, though.
Oh, suspenders, not overalls.
Oh, that's
suspenders.
good. Suspenders. And we can give him like a fat suit,
Put
so he's got a big
straw in
belly
his
hanging
mouth.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then we'll start a Facebook campaign called Ask Ron.
Oh, that's great. Ask Ron.
Ask Ron.
Ron, how do I get to the land of little horses? Well, what you want to do is you want to head out on 30 West.
And it's just small videos of him giving directions to people. Oh my God, please do this.
Yeah. But he shouldn't. But he can't say roads. He's going.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go up this road here? Make
There's a big red barn.
Right.
Make a right at the big yellow door.
Right.
Oh my
There's
God.
a crazy lady with a yellow door. You want to turn left at her house.
So now he's from Long Island.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's a
Well, I
Yenta from
felt
Long
that-
Island.
I felt that was closer to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Closer, but not quite.
I love
great.
Wow.
Ron.
All right.
This
Well,
is
so
great.
I think the audience now really wants to come and meet you at Cindy's Country Store, and Ron, your puppet.
I am. I'm going to drink water. And we're going to
my
sing.
God.
We're going to sing. Dun, 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 dun.
You need a big, like, chocolate lab with really sad eyes.
Yeah. Who's like?
Ooh,
No, a basset hound.
No, oh my God, a basset hound.
Here we go.
That
I've
just
always
lays
wanted one.
with those-
His name is Bilbo Baggins.
What?
And he's just fat and old, and he doesn't get up except whenever somebody comes in, he does one little woo, and then that's it.
And you get a discount if you give the dog a treat.
Oh my God, yes!
Sounds fun.
Oh my God.
I love this so much.
The funny thing is Ron never worked in the store.
Well, he will now.
He got the stuff, he brought it in, but he was there for the sale. And everyone was like, Ron. He really was like a little celebrity.
Really?
He is now.
Like,
He's
everyone
now
just
my
like-
favorite human
Yeah,
of all time.
yeah.
You've basically presented him as he's your tattoo. And you're Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban.
Oh my
Oh my God.
This really took a.
Yeah, see, you were all nervous. We had a great time.
No, have you ever been to an Ollie's? It's like
Aldi's?
Ollie's.
No.
Ollie's.
Great stuff, cheap.
Great stuff, cheap.
What is
And he has like a art character. Like, what do you call that?
A cartoon?
A cartoon mascot
Okay.
kind of guy of
Yeah.
the original guy. that could be your mascot for your store. Is Ron sitting in a chair?
In overalls?
In overalls.
With like a ripped up hat.
Oh my God,
Kind of
yes.
like Buddy Epson. On,
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like the Beverly Hills.
And you know what's really popular in country stores now are the old trucks.
Yes.
Oh my God, he could have an old truck.
Yes, he could have an old truck. Like, yeah. Here you go, Ron.
What the hell?
His face. This is like turn around, look at Ron. He's like this.
It's like, what?
What am I doing?
What insane asylum have I ended up in? Listen, Cindy, I wish you all the best of luck with this venture of yours. It's very exciting to open a business here in Gettysburg, and like I said, like you're already discovering, the community is great and supportive, as long as you're not, shystery. So everybody's, so don't be a shyster, but you're not going to be a shyster because you're not.
Wonderful people.
You
can
are
tell already.
And our listeners are great. So when they come to town, they're going to come in and say hi to you because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And
they're already planning it.
Are they all? What are they saying?
So.
And my prices
it says
are
Karen
really good.
here.
Too.
I love Cindy's store. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for trips to Gettysburg on Halloween and Christmas.
Oh, is that Karen?
Karen.
I'll tell you.
Oh, wait, you already know her. It doesn't count. Good.
Connie, my sister and I stopped in last month. What a great store. Cindy is lovely.
There you
Glad
go.
you are in the Berg.
Connie's
Thank you.
Somebody talking about crapping on the sidewalk. Going past that.
Bunch of a-holes we are.
Hello from Sandy, Nancy, and Denise. We all love Cindy and her store.
There you go.
Thank you.
See, everybody's so cute. We have such great people.
I think those are her people.
Well, they're our people too. They're on our chat.
They had to subscribe in order to make a comment. So, gotcha.
This is why we love Beth.
All right. Well, listen. Seriously, best of luck to you. Thank you for coming in. And should we mention, by the way, can we just brag on Ron for a bit here and what he did tonight?
Today?
Can we do that?
So after everything that happened,
all right. Now
that we
hold
talked
on.
about earlier in the show.
Now, Ron, when I met Ron, he was in a wheelchair. And the big thing was you got one of those souped up motorized wheelchairs with the big wheels so that he could come out on a get out of the car tour.
Yeah.
And he came out to the next tour that we had.
Well, can I just say, before we moved here?
Yes.
I said to him, before we move, you have to get one of these chairs.
Right.
And he said, no, I'm going to walk. And I said, you know what? This is your place. And when a kid that can't walk goes to Disney World, they do it in a chair.
Right.
And he hated the idea, but we got it, and it gave him independence.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say to you that when we saw you at the Christmas party, you asked him a question. And when we came home,
I said, girl, what you do to your hair?
and I didn't mean to cut you, but I have to mention this.
Yeah.
When we came home, he said, Matt, and this shows your empathy and your kindness.
Don't tell this on the air.
No.
People can't know this. Yeah, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
And you said to Ron, do you ever wake up and say to yourself, this is the day I'm going to get up and just walk across the room? And Ron said, every single day.
Yeah.
And he said, no one's ever asked me that, but he thinks it every day. So we remembered that.
Good.
But, yeah.
Because I would think the same thing if I were in his shoes. Like, this is going to be... Because if you don't, then you never will.
Yeah.
And so this is that's a good lead into the punchline of this story, which is, Ron, we're on the second floor. And I told you when you were going to come on, I said, we're on the second floor. You're going to have to leave Ron in the car because we don't have an elevator. And you said, you talked to him, and he said, Cindy, I'm going to walk up those stairs. And guess what Ron did tonight, ladies and gentlemen? He walked up the stairs. Come on, let's get some applause in the back room there. You're on mic. People are going to know. You're not clapping. And really, we watched him, and we waited. And we waited, and we waited. And I went and
Actually,
took a leak,
he did that.
and then
he did that pretty darn fast.
He did do it fast.
He said today in therapy he practiced. They did something the stairs, and he's done stairs before,
Ron,
but
I
he
love
hasn't in a. It's tricky.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people around him.
Believe me, it's tricky for me to do the stairs. So he did the stairs and got up to the top. We all applauded him and everything like that. And he waved and then almost fell back. And then we had to catch him. No, he made it fine. Yeah. And then we came in and sat him down, and everything was great. And I'm happy to see that. I'm glad he did it. Is he mobile?
Yes.
Good.
He always uses a walker.
But he used the cane
24/7.
today.
He used the cane. I took the cane with me and had it in my car because he needs that for the stairs. So
But that's a huge, because the last time I saw him, he was in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's a huge improvement.
Mhm.
And it's
Gargantuan
baby steps,
improvement.
you know?
Yeah.
A little dabble do ya.
Yeah. The good thing is he could always walk, but he will always need assistance. Maybe one day not, hopefully, but he is getting stronger. When we moved here and he didn't have his doctors and the physical therapy stopped, and the stress of everything, it really went downhill.
Oh, yeah. You can
really went downhill. And now he's getting back on track. And I'll tell you the difference of the care in this area. And one of the reasons why we moved here, not only is Johns Hopkins the best, but there's so many other things to his disorder than just what you see, the mobility.
Right.
And that's where the other doctors really dropped the ball. There could be heart issues, there could be bone density issues. There's so many other things, and they didn't know that and didn't study it. So here we're learning more about his condition.
That's great.
And when you know, then you say, okay, that's what this is. So
it takes some of the scariness out of it when you know something is could or might happen.
The unknown was the worst. And he had a great team in Connecticut, physical therapy and stuff. They really did wonderful with him. But we knew there was more to it. I kept reading about it and saying, this could affect your heart. This could, everything in your body could be totally different. And when we came here, Johns Hopkins was like, you are our priority. They will talk to him on a Sunday. I mean, the doctors are just, and WellSpan, the therapists are wonderful.
We're very lucky here.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
I use WellSpan and I love them. I mean, they treat me like a person and not a number. And I don't like my insurance company. That's a different story.
But I mean, we're right near Hershey. We're right near
York.
UPMC,
Doesn't York have like a trauma unit, or is that Hershey?
Yeah.
So if you're ever traumatized,
their pediatric at York is phenomenal.
So there you go.
And he goes to the Kennedy Krieger Institute, which is a spinal institute. And he goes every 6 months for 2 weeks. And it's full evaluations, and he learns more therapies, and then they do it here at WellSpan.
That's awesome.
So the shirt he has on is Hope Through Movement.
Yeah.
You see it has the spine in the back.
See that.
Yeah. So that is really that's the main reason we're here.
Well, I love that he made it up the stairs, and it's such a great improvement from where I saw him last, and I'm optimistic. I mean, I'm not his doctor, but I think it's great, and I hope he continues to just keep on walking, one step at a time.
He is really incredible.
He is. He's
incredible.
keeping a good spirit about himself the whole time too.
95% of the
no matter what a bad day he has, like this also brought on some seizures, and the summer and the fall and winter were just a blur. We were in and out of the hospital. It was just horrible. And he had a procedure on his spine the end of January that helps with all of this. So that is a big thing. But they give you answers here. They don't just go, here, go figure it out. They give him answers, and they say, well, let's try this. Let's try he has braces, custom made for his legs.
They're doing orthodontic. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but whatever kind of day he had, I'll come home and I can be like, and he could be in pain. He could have neuropathy. He has spasms. I mean, his feet go nuts, and he just smiles. And he said to me, I had 61 good years on these legs. I walked all these fields, and that was what I wanted to do. So now he goes and sits on the battlefield and reads and finds peace. And
it's all the attitude. That's you got to have a good attitude with these things, otherwise you're gonna be miserable.
And we already established he has a great smile, so it works out well.
Right.
Yeah.
You should just look in the mirror when he smiles.
Oh yeah, you should have mirrors, so he can see himself smile.
Okay. All right, Cindy, thank you very much for coming on. And all the best to you and Ron and the store.
And thank you and your listeners for
You're welcome.
listening.
And thank you for your support of the show.
Yes.
Yes.
That's very sweet of you.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's very
thank
kind.
you for you made a comment to me when you came into my shop, and you said, no matter what, you will forever have your mark on the
That's
town
right. It
that
is
you
on the
love
record
so
that
much.
you had a business here.
Mhm. Yeah, I say
whether
it all
it
the
works or
time.
doesn't. There is a record of it.
Yeah.
And your name is inextricably tied to Gettysburg now.
Yeah.
So there
Whether
you go.
you
Thank
want
you.
it to be or not.
That's right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Someone most likely has to pee, so we'll be right back.
Who can forget the sounds of the 60s?
The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now, there's Marching Through Georgia, the exciting new album by Billy Webster. All of your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. Such hits as Gary Owens, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, All Quiet Along the Potomac Tonight, Marching Through Georgia, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to billysongs.com and order your digital download of Billy Webster's Marching Through Georgia today. That's billysongs.com. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more, featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Well, Bethany, you know, I know, we all know what I just am looking forward to the most, and you know what, I'm going to keep running these live ads until everybody that is at this place is our listener. I'm talking, of course, about the CWI's Summer Conference, June 7th through 12th. Harold Holzer is going to be there. Ronald White is going to be there. Scott Hartwig is going to be there. Elizabeth Leonard, Aaron Sheehan-Dean, Jim Brummel, John White, Jennifer Murray, and they're all going to be doing stand-up comedy. We're scrapping history this year. It's stand-up comedy and nothing else. The program includes active battlefield experiences. That's the other thing. It's not just sitting around getting lectured. You get to go out on the field of battle.
Actual tours,
actual miles. That was the Best of Don Henley album. It's called Actual Miles. Lectures, interactive small group discussions. Yeah, you sit and you're having lunch and there's a historian at your table and you're talking about something with the historian. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Customizable packages are available. Be sure to inquire about their numerous discounts for military veterans, Gettysburg College alum, members of local partnering institutions and publications, K through 12 educators, public historians, students, youth, and new attendee recruiters. You could just Google it and find out how to get in touch with them, or you can send an email to civilwar@gettysburg.edu or call 717-337-6590. That's 717-337-6590.
For Alderson brought us, her door now closed. Decades more of learning we all supposed. But one day on a podcast West Virginia's own mispronounced the name and a joke was born. So long Aldersbeen brought us, and sitting high on the hill, our memories of many in our hearts they do swell for great times on Broaddustin Hill.
If Tweedledee and Tweedledum had children, they'd be like these two. Here's Matt.
As I'm throwing out my gum. All right. We are sitting here with one of our listeners. Those of you who are regular viewers of this show on the Tube of You will know that the name Peter Zack the Third, I believe, right? Second, excuse me. We're waiting on the third, right? You're working on that. No, never. Okay.
No. Not happening.
Peter, you are in town. Where are you from?
Queensbury, which is just south of Lake George.
New York.
Yeah,
upstate New York. Lake George
He
is
didn't
gorgeous.
tell me who you were, so this is exciting for me because I see your name on the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no life, so.
No, but this is
I
great.
haven't.
He didn't even say anything to me. He just said, "There's a guy."
There's a guy
on the show, but
Yeah.
this is exciting. Hi, it's
Yeah,
nice
hello,
to meet you.
hello.
Hi.
Your personality reminds me of somebody back home that we deal with, and
That I deal with.
You work in an insane asylum, right?
Yeah, always, yeah. Oh, you don't know.
We deal with her, and
who
you
is-
remind me of her.
Who's the person you deal with that it reminds you of her?
I don't know if I should say her name.
Well,
but
don't say the name, but describe why does she remind you of her?
just the personality, her quorkiness and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and just. You know, she tries to be proper, but really isn't.
But she's not.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Bethany, oh Bethany, how many cars slammed into buildings today? Bethany, oh Bethany, will you read the headlines today? Bethany, oh Bethany, your news surely makes the show. Bethany, oh hey, come on girl and house that loaf.
I could house that loaf.
All right, so you're from upstate New York, and you're into Rev War reenacting, right?
Yeah, well, I first got...
Why are you yelling? I'm right
I'm
here.
sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you. Go ahead.
I first got into Civil War reenacting first.
With which regiment?
The 123rd, New York, which was up on Culp's Hill.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
But yeah, I got involved in history like at an early age. It was like second grade, and I had a teacher, and she would read. She had a journal from the Civil War, and she would always read from it.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was wicked cool, and I was always like, "Is it time? Is it time for her to read the stories?" And I remember it was I think the Peninsula Campaign, and they were talking about the Professor Lowe and the balloon. They just mentioned the balloon.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, cool, the balloon's going up, and we're going to all watch it." So they're like setting out blankets, and they're like, "Oh, cool, watching the balloon." And all of a sudden, the Confederates started trying to hit the
Lob
balloon.
shells at it, yeah.
Well, they started landing where they were having the picnic, and so they were like, so that was like the one real memory that clicked. That it was like after that, it was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go. So I went home, and it was like, "Oh, Civil War this." And so I started getting all these books. Like my parents would, a lot of picture books. It was like, because they were like.
'Cause you're second grade.
Yeah, and I didn't like reading.
Yeah, me neither.
And.
Still don't.
Yeah, me neither. And so I started getting books, and I got into it. And then we were just driving around one time, and another local regiment was doing a little living history and kind of like a recruitment thing.
Cool.
And I went up, and I was too young, and I was like, "Oh, doing this." And they're like, "Oh," they told me, "You could be a drummer boy." And I was like, I went up to my dad, like, "Hey," they said they would take me as a drummer boy. And it didn't really click that you have to pay for things. Like,
Right. Buy the drum?
You gotta buy it all.
And your dad was like, no.
He's like, and
How about no, Scott?
I was so mad, and I was like in the Boy Scouts, but I had taken the buttons off and put brass ones on.
You made your own uniform.
Yeah, I used to do that weird
Yeah.
stuff, and but then like I kept at it, and I'd asked my parents, for Christmas I had what was that time the regimental quartermaster had the little booklet,
Yeah.
and I would go through. That was my
The
Christmas.
the drill. What booklet are you talking about?
No, the catalog.
Oh, the catalog. Yeah, I remember the catalog.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I would be like highlighting, what I wanted. My mom
Yeah.
was like,
"No,
what the hell's a haversack?" And so,
So what other kids did for Toys R Us catalog?
yeah, I was.
You did on the regimental.
Yeah.
You're so
yeah.
cute.
Yeah. So
That's adorable.
You're adorable, Pete.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
If you only knew me.
So, but now, were there other kids in your class who were interested in history, or was it only you?
There was a few.
So did you guys become friends and bond over this?
Kind of. Yeah, kids are weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at the mentality because I had I was an only child, but I had older cousins.
Right.
And I would see what they were going through in life. And so, by the time I was in high school, I was like, I didn't really care. I was like, once you leave high school, you move on.
Yeah.
And so that was my mentality of
I'll never see these people again.
Yeah.
Care.
And I really haven't, and
nobody has.
But it was really weird
have.
because the ones I did bump into was a real odd occurrence too. They bumped in, and this was after 9/11 happened, and I was going into the military, the Marines, and bumped into two guys I went to high school with, and they were doing the same thing.
Hey, did you know Colby was in the U.S. Marines?
All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
I was just practicing.
But I bumped into them, and they were like a couple cycles behind me. So when we were in Paris Island, we would go to church, and they were there, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
It was really odd. It was strange, bizarre. But I mean, that whole experience is another bizarre because the guy who got me into reenacting was a lieutenant colonel. And he ended up training the Iraqi police force, or part of it.
Okay.
And he was doing all these inspections, going around, checking all these facilities and stuff. And where we were stationed, there was was part of the big training camp. It was like the second phase of their boot camp. And he popped in. I was in the chow hall, and this is in Iraq. And he's all with his staff, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh, and he drops his whole staff. We have lunch and whatever, and then we go out, go outside, and he was like, because he used to call me General, and he saluted me, and that was like the thing you couldn't do, and I kind of felt awkward because Marines and Army are two different ballparks, and I didn't salute him back. It was odd. I felt like, he had a staff, and it was like he's a major, and
sure.
It was weird.
But you're here now are you down for the ABTs?
No, I had no idea it was going on.
Oh, okay. So you're just down.
Yeah. Well, we planned this 3 years ago.
And you brought your friend with you.
Yep. To come down. And we finally made it happen. It was
there you go.
Good. I pushed myself to drive again, because I haven't been driving for 2.5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Medical reasons. I don't.
Oh.
Which we still don't know.
Oh.
So I was just like,
geez, it's like going around in here, isn't it?
I hope not.
I meant. Well, all right. Well, good. So, but I'm glad you're here then.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you do a tour yet?
Well, yeah. Yes, kind of. We went around. I was like, I got to get a map. I just have to re-familiarize myself with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was kind of the same until I got down to Little Round Top.
Yeah. It's very different.
And then I was like, you can't go around. You got to go this way. And so we were just going
in circles
everywhere. And I'm like, I felt like Chevy Chase, like, hey, kids, there's Big Ben again.
Big Ben Parliament.
Yeah. So we kind of did a quick job of it, and but we did it.
You did. Are you going to get a guide?
We got to head back tomorrow. After.
So that's right. Yeah.
So
Friday.
Short trip.
Yeah.
Well, that just means that you can make a longer trip the next time.
Yeah. Well, my buddy's got to work, so.
Buddy.
Come on, buddy.
I don't know what your name is, but
Is it
buddy,
Justin?
why are you working?
Justin,
why are you working?
Yeah, really, Justin.
You're
come
in
on.
Gettysburg, for Pete's sake.
Come
we
on.
don't work here.
Come on, Justin. All right. Well, listen, we have another listener in there who I want to get in here to say hi. So thanks for coming in, Pete.
All right,
it's nice
no
to
problem.
finally meet you.
Yeah.
Good.
Yay.
Have a good
Nice to meet you.
rest of your stay. Are you coming to dinner with us?
Sure. What?
All right, come to dinner with
All
us. Right? Have you eaten?
All right. He's going to be mad because he
wants to go to bed.
No, he wants to get the Bills draft or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
You have to do
He's
it.
mad. I told
Just
him.
go
I
in
told
the
him,
hallway and do it.
I told him get over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, really?
Why does
Seriously?
it? Wait, he can't do it while we're at dinner?
I said I've got an earpiece. I'm like, just stick it in.
Yeah, just
and be
do
like,
it.
yeah.
We're all on our cell phones texting people we'd rather be with anyway. So it's.
I don't text anyone.
We all do it. Shut up. Okay. Anyway, so let's get Kevin Tracy, and Kevin is also a listener, and he is in the film club actually with Casey, and he's come to both of our Christmas parties, right?
Both Christmas parties.
Both Christmas parties in the last 2 years. Where are you from?
Utica, New York.
Oh my God!
Everybody
Justin,
from New York.
just down the road from Justin.
Jeez,
Yeah,
it's
just
like the
going down-
invasion of upstate New Yorkers. And Cindy and Connecticut and people, yeah. But no, all right. So now you come here as often as you possibly can, I
Yes,
assume,
yeah,
right?
3 times a year.
Yeah. And is there a special occasion for this one?
This one, my girlfriend and I were doing the half marathon on Sunday.
Good for you.
Oh my God.
Good for you. Like as a spectator?
No, as running.
Oh, okay.
You're walking fast.
Yeah,
Do you walk or run?
Run. I'm one of those weird people that like running.
You like running. Well, it's probably good for you.
Yeah.
Do you have bad knees from it?
Bad
back?
Now that you say that, past year has been a little rough on the right knee. Left ankle is a little wonky.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. See, my knees have started to hurt me, and I haven't ever been athletic in any possible way. So I guess I'm just too fat, and I'm carrying all that weight around, and my knees are like, enough already.
Yeah.
You
Sometimes
know?
once I get going, I'm good, but then later afterwards or the next day. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was
That's
a good
little
idea.
enough. Yeah. So do you listen to the show and chat too?
I chat once in a while, yes, but I try to
What's
listen.
your chat thing?
Kevin Tracy.
Okay.
He's not in the chat now. He's right in front of you.
No loaf name.
No loaf
No
name.
love name. Well, that's usually how I know people is
Okay.
because their name shows up.
Yeah,
on
once
here.
in a while I'll chat.
Okay.
Not too often.
Yeah.
Usually I throw a hi out there and 6 questions says hi to me through the chat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good.
Good old 6 questions.
Good old
And what do you do for a living?
I instruct Air Force Junior ROTC program.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we were just here Monday. We took a trip down to D.C. for the week. This is our spring break. So on the way back through, they dropped me off and they headed back to New York.
You know, we do stuff with our OTC programs.
Do you?
Yeah,
ROTC?
through the foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, they can camp out at the Spangler farm.
Okay.
It's really cool. I mean, if you like that sort of thing. I
probably
wouldn't.
wouldn't mind. I'm just thinking of the students. Like,
Well,
these
see,
are high school students. That,
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
they-
that's
yeah, I know.
usually
We're
what
Air
we
Force,
have.
so
Yeah.
camping Air Force usually.
Ah, gotcha. See, you would have to pay me $1 bajillion to camp out at the Spangler farm overnight, but everybody says it's really neat.
Yeah, maybe they can set something up where these kids go to like a fancy hotel around here, like the Leitner House or something, because Air Force, that's what they like, right?
Yeah.
Fancy hotels. Yeah.
I was in the career field, though, that we were a mobile radar unit. We would have to camp out, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
But I had a little pup tent. Well, we were different in the Army. In the Army, they give you one half a tent, so you'd have to find a buddy.
Right.
With the other half.
Right.
You know, but
Yeah.
the Air Force, they give you the whole tent.
You get the whole tent.
You get the whole tent.
Oh,
there,
that's
so-
pretty
right,
awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you guys are living in the lap of
Right.
luxury.
And your uniforms, your dress uniforms are blue.
They're blue, yeah.
Yeah. So, would you recommend if anybody's thinking of going into the military for an easy ride to go into the Air Force? Is that what you're saying?
Not an easy ride.
Well,
Not
a
necessarily
relatively
easy, but
easy
yeah,
ride.
but quality of life probably a little different.
Yeah.
We were just talking about we were at Andrews Air Force Base, or Joint Base Andrews they call it now, and one of the sergeants there that were talking to students, he's like, "You're just in the Air Force. You know, the reason," and he goes, "I'm biased, but you're just treated." He goes, he feels like in the Air Force you're treated a little more respect as a person rather than just go do this.
Right.
Kind of thing. So.
Are you going to join us for dinner?
Yes, I'll join you. For
Okay, good. Because what?
Andrews Air Force Base is where I got lost at 4 years old.
Oh yeah.
During the air show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I got lost.
And how long did it take to find you?
A while.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you were just wandering around?
Yeah. This
And
is why.
When did they notice? How long did it take them to notice that you were missing?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was gone.
Really?
Yeah, I was gone for quite a while.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody
found you?
stole you.
Well, see, we have very different memories of what happened that day. So my dad says he found me in a pen with a bunch of other lost children.
Oh.
And I remember finding a couple who walked me around. If I could draw, I could draw them for you. I know exactly what they look like, but apparently they never existed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you imagine a couple that saved you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
You know,
I call them my guardians.
I have memories from that age that I'm not sure are memories or dreams or somebody told a story in front of me and I've, stored it as a memory of my own. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? You don't know what's going on at that
This
age.
is why I taught Ezra his address and his parents' real names. the moment he could speak.
Not mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, listen, it's time for the news.
Okay.
Are you going to join us for dinner?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll talk to you more at dinner time, and everybody gird your loins.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
An accident involving a local police vehicle causes craziness in Gettysburg's busiest Saturday. Local municipalities are fighting against solar panels without even consulting Matt Callery.
Wow.
Parking meters on Sundays cause a bit of a fight at a borough council meeting.
Wow.
A local school board looks into banning books. All this and more on today's news.
Gettysburg, wow.
I feel like that was my best one.
That was a pretty good one.
That was really
yeah,
good. Look
yeah.
at Cindy's face. She's
Yeah,
like,
I
woo!
getting the thumbs up from the back room there. Back room microphone's open, so feel free to jump in at any time here in the news. Go ahead, Bethany. Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
I know. Sorry. So I pulled this article specifically for you, Matt, because I know how much you love solar panels.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. So Mountjoy supervisors made it more difficult.
Mountjoy, south of town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
More difficult to build new solar farms in the township.
Good.
5 weeks after Next Era Energy pulled a plug on its Brookview project.
Yeah, okay, good. Good.
Okay.
That's where we're moving, Cindy. Yep.
So the ordinance was approved 5-0 on Thursday, effectively repealing a 2019 amendment that gave new solar energy projects the ability to request extensions in time if needed for completion. So now it makes it harder for them to get all the red tape cut through. So hopefully they won't be able to build solar panel farms in Mountjoy Township. How do you feel about this, Matt?
I think it's good. I think it's silly and it's ugly, and you're whoring our area out and making it look terrible by doing it. So there. Oh, but when, reason this, reason that. Find another way. Thank you. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay.
Don't hold back, Matt.
I'm not.
You really feel.
I won't hold back.
So I pulled this article because most people probably don't know about this place, but you know where Cross Keys is?
Yeah.
So you're heading out on
30,
Route 30 east, and it's between New Oxford and Abbottstown.
Right.
But it is a huge kind of hence why it's called Cross Keys.
It's a crossroads.
Crossroads there that a lot of people use to get to Gettysburg.
And to get into accidents.
So if you're local, this will affect you, whether you live close to it or not, because of the way the road works. An online survey was recently launched to garner public input on residents' experiences with the PA Route 94 study corridor and share any concerns. Partnering with local municipalities and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, the Adams County Transportation Planning Organization is seeking public comment from residents and travelers about the PA Route 94 study area, which is the area right there at Cross Keys, between Dix Dam Road and Hanover Street, as well as a section of U.S. Route 30 between Lincoln Street and Stanley Drive. It's a 10-question survey, and you can complete it up until May 13th. Their website, you can Google it and you can find it, but it's at adamscountypa.gov. You can describe your experience traveling through the area, offer feedback on potential transportation solutions, and identify areas of concern through an interactive map. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because this is how a lot of people come to Gettysburg, along Route 30.
Yes.
And that area is horrid for traffic because of that red light right there. And there's now a Sheetz there, which added a lot of traffic. There's a McDonald's and a Burger King and all of this stuff building up right in there. So there's going to be more and more and more stuff.
Which is going to make it more and more of a nightmare, yeah.
And so if you're local, it will affect traffic patterns. So you're going to want to pay attention to this.
Good to know.
So there. Parking is back in the news, and it caused quite a stir. I can't wait to read the comments to you guys. Okay. So the Borough Council had a workshop on Monday remember how I mentioned a couple weeks ago that they were talking about putting the bags on the parking meters and how you can't do that. And on Sundays it causes a problem, and what do you do about handicapped churchgoers?
Right.
The consensus was reached, but not unanimous, with member Chad Allen Carr strongly disagreeing. So there were 3 options that were brought forth for this. This is so exciting. The one would be a sign that it shows handicap parking along in front of the churches with a, handicap parking sign, but it's only good for Sundays from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so that would be option number 1. Option number 2 was as a monthly rate for metered bags on Sundays when parking is free until 1 p.m.
A monthly rate.
Yeah, so they would put a bag on the meter. So
Right.
And they would pay
and you
for
would
that.
just pay by the month.
Mm-hmm. And then the third option was do nothing and just continue as we currently are. However, there was an exchange during the meeting that I absolutely can't wait to read to you.
Okay.
So Chad Allen Carr, who I don't know, but apparently it got heated. He went with option 3 to do nothing. We already have something in place. If a business across the street from the church wanted to reserve spaces on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., it would be forced to get the reservation reserve bags and pay for them. Another member, last name Berger, I don't know what his first name is. I'm so sorry. Said, we can vote on it and you can vote against it and not care about the old people. I go to church on Sunday. To which Chad Allen Carr countered, it's not about that. Mr. Berger said, well, it kind of is. It kind of is. At that point, the 2 spoke over each other for several seconds before Council President Matthew Moon broke in with, one at a time, please. And then Berger said, we took it away from them. Look deep into your heart. You go there, and we've got ushers taking care of these old people, and there's a lot of them. A lot of people have disabilities, and for a lot of Americans, that's the most important hour of the week. To which Mr. Carr said, I will consider that, but I'm also concerned about other businesses that can't be a part of this plan. I'm saying make everything equal for everybody. At that point, Moon asked for input from other members, and the discussion moved on to the other signs. So they got heated, basically accusing one person of saying, I go to church, the other person saying it's not about going to church and whether you're a member of a church. And then there was a fight.
I think the funniest part is how hard you're laughing right now.
I just think it's interesting that we, only in a small town.
Yeah.
Only in a small town would there be a fight over parking meters on Sunday.
I don't know why this town can't figure out good parking. You go to Carlisle and you feed the meters. A quarter goes a long way. If you're going up to, we like to go to Carlisle for dinner once in a while.
Uh-huh.
We'll meet Jen Murray and Michael Walker up there, and we'll have dinner at Market Cross Pub.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, delicious.
Yes.
And you go, oh, here's a quarter. Oh, but then look at it. Oh, no. You don't have to pay after 5 o'clock or something like that, or right? Which we used to do here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why we have to be so unwelcoming and so uninviting and so hostile towards people for using their town or our town. What's that?
Then we were on the square and a dollar was 30 minutes.
$1's 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That should be an hour.
That should be an hour.
Well,
I know what they're trying to do.
I was laughing really hard because I went up home. I was in downtown Brookville, Pennsylvania, and I have a bunch of quarters in my car because I live here in Gettysburg.
Because you have to go into a store for 3 minutes, and it takes 4 quarters
and then
to get 2.5 minutes.
I said to my mother, I'll pay for parking because I have quarters in the car. And then I realized I was in Mark's car. And so I'm like, I don't have any quarters. All I have is this nickel. And Mom said, well, you can put that in the meter. I said, it's a nickel. And she goes, yeah, put it in the meter. It got me a half hour.
Wow, really?
I was like, wow.
Now, look, I understand they probably they don't want people taking up a space for an hour or two. So they want to make it prohibitive for you to sit there all day long.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it is. I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like highway robbery. It's ridiculous. And and the hours are ridiculous. And it used to be Sunday was free. all day, not just church hours, all day.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that again? And what's the stupid thing with the bags? Is it because somebody in the borough doesn't like a certain business owner that has been giving him a hard time about things, and so he's taking it away from everybody? Like,
it
why?
could be almost anything at this point.
Yeah.
But do you remember?
I don't remember much.
Do you remember? I don't know who he was even talking about, but when Kanye West and Mike Myers were on an interview and he said President Bush doesn't like black people.
Yes.
Okay.
George Bush hates black people. And then Mike Myers was like,
oh, I can't believe I'm on here.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a little element of that between these people because Mr. Berger was accusing Chad Allen Carr of not liking old people. And I was like, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, I don't know any of these people, so I couldn't tell you. But like,
borough council meetings get heated.
They really
over
do.
Parking.
They really do.
And
oh,
church.
do you? I watch like on YouTube. You can find like council meetings all over the country.
Oh, yeah?
And people go absolutely insane on their council members, and it's very interesting to watch how
I'm sure.
dysfunctional every city, borough, town, whatever government is across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, with all due respect, the people that are in those positions really shouldn't be in those positions.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No,
I understand why people do it. They want to give back to their town. They want to be
but
in
they
charge
really
of
don't.
something.
It's about what they can get for whatever they're interested.
There might be an element of that.
How many of them are not business owners?
I don't know.
I'm sure. I'm going to guess a few. Some of the retired ones obviously are probably, obviously not business owners anymore. But like, and they're probably trying to keep the young people out. So like everybody has their own interests that they're on there for. And I guess you can't avoid that.
No.
I don't want there to be a, politician major at colleges so that you major in being a politician and then you can go out and that qualifies you to run.
Can we just all blame Martin Van Buren, our first official lifetime politician? That's what I do. Whenever anybody gets mad at politicians, I go, that freaking Martin Van Buren.
I think we should blame ideologies because ideologies are why people are not serving their towns and cities and states and federal or country well, because it's ideology ruins everything.
I don't know. It's just, it was very heated and I was surprised. Okay. So this past Saturday, the foundation had their spring muster, which I worked at all day. And then halfway through the day, we got a text message from the National Park Service.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I have to pull it up. This was from the National Park Service. Emmitsburg Road closed from the intersection of South Confederate to U.S. Avenue for crash investigation. Please find alternate routes. Please slow down. Then, a little while later, another Nixle message. Update. Emmitsburg Road closed from the intersection of South Confederate to U.S. Avenue for crash investigation. Estimated time of reopening is 2+ hours. Find alternate routes. Then this at 6:30. That was at 2:30. This is at 6:43. Message from the MPS. The intersection at Emmitsburg Road and Millerstown Road is now reopened. Thank you for your patience. It took that long to clear this accident. And what ended up happening was there was a
we
van.
know now?
Well, we know the basics.
Okay.
Because even the newspaper doesn't know.
Because everybody's speculating.
There's a lot of speculation. Yeah. The Pennsylvania State Police vehicle was involved with a crash around 1:38 p.m. on Saturday at the intersection of Emmitsburg and Wheatfield Roads at the Peach Orchard battle site in Cumberland Township. A social media post, this is pretty much where all the news for this entire accident is coming from, shows a marked Pennsylvania State Police vehicle off the road with a front end damage and deployed airbags. The video shows another vehicle on its side. I mean, all you saw was the bottom of the vehicle on the edge of Emmitsburg Road. The Pennsylvania State Police was investigating the crash but did not release any information. There's the entirety of the news article.
As we witnessed it.
It was horrible looking.
So we were at the Farnsworth House, and we're sitting in the beer garden because it was our first Get Out of the Car tour, and we're all sitting there, and it was a lovely day. Perfect day, by the way,
a great
for the
day.
Get Out of the Car tour. And there's just, sirens. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not abnormal, But then there's more sirens and more sirens. And then there's an interval of time. And then there's more sirens. And they're all heading south.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, geez, something's going on. Because as time goes on, and they're coming from other towns. We're like, what the hell's happening? So one of our listeners, Mark, who was on the tour, I guess he went roaming around the battlefield, and he texted me, accident, flipped over or overturned van at Wheatfield and Emmitsburg Road. So, of course, after Farnsworth, we go try to find it, and we couldn't get close to it.
Yeah.
But we could see it from West Confederate. You could see the van. I didn't see the police car in the peach orchard until the next day or a few days later, whenever that was. And we went out there and shot a little video, and you could see the tracks of where the police car went or the SUV went. And there, I'm not even joking. There's this much. What is this? Maybe a foot and a half between the tire tracks and one of the tablets that's there. He was so close to smashing into that tablet.
Yike.
I mean, he barely missed it.
He did hit a tree, right?
He hit a tree, but I think he came to a stop in the tree. I don't think, because the tree didn't look damaged or anything like that. But yeah, that video. So I shared that video on our Facebook page, and then I got an email from the wife of the van driver. And she was like, do you have any more details? And I said, well, that wasn't my video. I just shared the video. I wasn't there. I didn't witness it. Nobody knows anything.
The wife of the van driver is asking you for more details.
Because she said,
oh my God,
that I said, because I was wondering how, don't you know this?
Yeah.
And she said everybody that was involved is fine. Her husband is the only one in the hospital because he was the driver.
Oh, no.
He's all right.
Okay.
He'll be fine. He's just banged up a bit. But he doesn't remember what happened. And so she's in California.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And so she's trying to find out more details about, what had happened. And I said, I don't know. There's a police car involved. So I'm going to guess that we're never really going to find out the answer. However, a lot of people have speculated because there was an accident just before that down where Emmitsburg crosses Route 15, Highway 15. And people think he was racing to the scene, and then the van pulled out and the accident occurred. So, but we don't know because,
he doesn't remember. Oh my God. Can you imagine being that far away from your spouse and something like that happens?
No.
Mark's never allowed to travel with me again.
Certainly not allowed to drive a van in Gettysburg.
I wouldn't let him drive his car.
No, but it is scary that, that happens. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. And the guy who took the video, I contacted him and invited him to come on the show, but he has to work. He works nights, and then he's a bodybuilder, so he trains during the day, and he didn't have any time to pre-record it. I was going to try to pre-record it. He said he's available tomorrow, and I said, but that's after the point. By next week, no one's going to care about this anymore. So we got to talk about it now. But so that's all I got there. Now that video though, like the reenactor that's in the video.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the video, he says, he's like, that almost ran me down. So he came really close to getting run over by that cop car. That's scary. I mean, that must have been something to see.
Very fast. Must have been going at a very high rate of speed.
Yeah, well, it looks, when you go there and you look at the tracks and you look at there's some debris that's still there that they missed. And, I don't even know what
the video that we saw, because we were dealing with, we had buses out on the field. So, like, I'm trying to find 250 people and making sure it wasn't any of them.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
And, how does anybody get back? Was there anybody out in that area? So that was kind of hectic there for a little bit, trying to figure that out. And then, memo to self, always give your cell phone number to everybody on the tour so they can call you if there's a shenanigans. So next year I will be doing that.
What do you mean?
Like if nobody had a way of contacting me.
Oh, not one person?
Well, on the bus that we were looking for, no.
Wow.
Nobody knew me. They were all new people.
Oh.
And so that was a little scary. But yeah, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
And they looked really young. You know, like the people who were standing around the bus
They
looked
did
really
look young, yeah.
Like,
And
they
you
were
know what?
ROTC kids. I thought for sure they were an ROTC group.
Well, what's interesting is the guy who took the video posted, or he sent me some pictures. I should have put them up. I forgot, of the van after they pulled it upright. Was it a passenger van?
It looked like one of those big
It looked like
white
one,
passenger,
but
like
I couldn't
like
see-
15-person passenger.
Yeah, I didn't see any seats. I couldn't make out any seats in the pictures. I was like, what the hell is this? So I don't know. But I saw everybody unloading luggage and stuff, and there were a bunch of people there, so I'm assuming they were in it. Anyway, it was a beautiful day for our first Get Out of the Car tour.
Yeah.
We had 91 people.
Hey,
and we
that's
had,
great.
Yeah. And we had everybody got notebooks, and they seemed to really like the notebooks. And it was just beautiful. Video was shot by one of our listeners, Ken Mead. And once he gets that to me, we'll put it out there. And
So at Muster, the evening, Saturday evening and Sunday morning, there was a Veronica and Kathy sighting.
Oh, I hear. I had dinner with them. Cindy and I had dinner with
Yes.
them 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago.
They're hilarious.
Yes, they
and
are.
my mother and Kathy should not be allowed alone together. It was a situation.
Really?
Yes.
Why
So
are
there
they-
was a lot of and everybody thought there was some kind of situation happening. And I'm like, no, it's just two women
With their
seeing each
loud,
other after a
cackling
while.
laughs.
Yeah.
Really?
Everybody is okay.
And
Nobody's
they-
dying.
They get a little rowdy together.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? We had dinner with Veronica and Kathy. We went to Olivia's. Have you been down there?
I've never been.
It's very good. I haven't been there in like 15 years.
I'm a little weirded
very
out
good.
by the Mediterranean themed restaurant in
Why?
the middle of South Central Pennsylvania.
No. What, Greeks can't move here? What
Well, no,
what
but
kind of
like-
a bigot are you?
It's actually a really big, really good Greek fest in Camp Hill, Harrisburg area.
Oh, I know. That's not what I'm saying.
Bethany hates the Greeks, apparently.
That is not true.
Okay.
That is not true.
It's a very good restaurant, though.
Well, I'm glad. I'm just saying, like, okay, never mind.
No, all right, whatever. It's a very good restaurant. You should go when you get a chance. Have Mark bring you down there for a romantic
It's a lot
dinner.
of seafood.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And we're in South Central Pennsylvania.
The ports are right down the road.
I know, but it freaks me out.
Oh, stop it. That's
Okay.
silliness. That is silliness. That is silliness. That
It
is
might just be
silliness.
that I don't like seafood.
Maybe
That
you
might be
don't
what
like it.
is. Yeah.
Any excuse to not have seafood.
Yeah.
You know, we have things called refrigerated trucks now. You know, they can.
What?
They can freeze it.
Oh,
and send it
yeah.
long distance.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
God, you're so
By the way,
mean to me.
Wendell Clarkson has a brother.
Oh, yeah?
His name is Steve Clarkson, and he's a safety advisor. So he'll come to your business and he'll tell you what you're doing wrong.
And he talks really fast?
Yeah, talks really fast. He's very curt in the way he speaks, and he's a no nonsense kind of guy. You know,
Yeah.
just bare bones.
Yeah.
Steve Clarkson. I almost said Finkelstein. I was like, that's not right. All right, what else you got in the news?
That's it.
Oh, really?
This weekend is the ABT conference.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to tell you about that, folks. If you're going to be here for that, if you're in the area for it, be sure that you come to the refectory at 6:30
At some time at the point of the day.
Saturday night and say hi. We have a table there. We are a sponsor. Addressing Gettysburg is a sponsor of the conference.
Okay.
And a gold sponsor, I might add.
Ooh,
yeah, that
very
puts us up there in good
nice.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm surprised at who's in the bronze section and not up with me in the gold section.
Is it the Gettysburg Foundation?
Might be.
Sorry. I have nothing to do with that. I just
know,
want to point out.
I'm just teasing.
BTW, Jamie Umstadt says there's a round table tonight. Send my love to all. So she loves everybody.
Yes. Well, thank you, Jamie, and send our love to everybody at the round table. Everybody at the round table. So, What else is there? Oh, yeah, that was it. I told you about ABT.
And the shoot.
Mm.
The thing opens this weekend.
That's true. The what?
The farmer's market.
Thank you, Cindy. And by the way, in case you didn't know, if you have a business and are on Facebook, go ahead and follow Addressing Gettysburg's business network. It's a new page. It's a way for you to connect with our audience, other business owners, consumers, and the businesses here in Gettysburg. And it seems to be taking off. How many are we up to now as far as followers goes? 138. 138.
Wow, Cindy, that's awesome.
Wow, because last week when we talked about it, we had what?
70.
70. That's pretty good. Almost double. Why am I the only one that claps? Jesus.
I'm pretty sure I clapped several times earlier and you didn't join in. I just want to point this out.
Okay, well, whatever.
Why
This
do you
is just
hate
an
me so?
education guess.
What?
Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you. I just like teasing you.
Though I don't know if you saw, we should congratulate Rich Condon.
Yes, that's right. Rich Condon and Kim are now financiers to each other. Huh? Fiancés, forgive me. They're engaged. Richie Condon got engaged. That's right. So congratulations to Rich Condon and Kim.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Cameron, relax. You'll find somebody else. Rich is off the market. So what? Yes, we had dinner with them at Hoofin and Fowl a couple weeks ago.
I wasn't invited.
Very fun couple.
I notice how you go out to dinner a lot with everybody, but
First of
you
all,
never invite me out for dinner.
what are you going to do? Are you going to leave Ezra at home?
I mean, Ezra could come along, but I mean, if you don't like Ezra,
We love Ezra, but let's be
you could
real.
just not invite me out.
Well, no, that's what we're doing.
I did, didn't I?
No, really.
I mean, if you don't like Ezra and Mark, that's fine.
We like
I mean,
Ezra
I'll be
and Mark,
totally
but
fine.
I, you know, a lot of the people that I know, when they have kids, they're like, "Oh, I can't because of the kid." So I just assume that
I just
you're.
take Mark. Ezra. I take Ezra with me. Oh, is this the food one?
Oh,
no.
Bethany, how many cars slammed into buildings today? Bethany, oh Bethany, will you read the headlines today? I understand that you're hungry, Bethany. Just hold on a little longer, my friend. Soon you will see a meal's waiting for thee when this show comes to an end. Just picture your favorite table, Bethany, with napkins and friends singing songs. Meth head walks out and hands you a plate of scrumptious chicken bones.
Chicken bones.
I want to say, Mitchell Randall, I do not hate Greek people.
Oh, is it Mitchell Greek?
I don't know. She said I didn't know Bethany was a anti-Greek.
Yeah.
That is not what I was trying to say.
He's an anti-Greekite.
It's a seafood situation in South Central Pennsylvania.
And the
we are
Greeks
so
like seafood.
far away from the sea. That was my issue.
We're not that far. Look, if we were in Nebraska, I would be a little more leery of a seafood restaurant. Although I also wouldn't, because we have, what did I say? Refrigerated trucks, refrigerated train cars, and aeroplanes. So, yeah.
Four of us didn't have seafood. So
Right, I am the only one that had seafood. But let me tell you, it was delicious. I had lobster and shrimp.
Fine, I'm a horrible person.
Scampi.
I'm going to therapy.
What is wrong with you?
What?
Don't say that. You're not a horrible person. I don't like it when you say
a
that.
Greek family, and Beth, that's really disappointing. You guys are all so mean to me.
Loafhauser married into...
I'm gonna like go home and cry. You guys don't understand how much I take this stuff seriously.
Oh, they're just teasing me. Oh, come on, Beth. Everybody's just... What? Wait, what?
What about napkins?
Any sheets, napkins left? I think.
Why the sheets
Thank
not, guys?
you.
Why the sheets not? All right.
Not.
So, I think what we're... Oh, wait. Funky.
I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as Matsy.
That's the best part.
Yeah. It is.
Had instead of
So okay, real quick. So there were, like I told you, there was a firmware update on this, and even though it didn't totally fix everything, there is a little something. I want you to speak into your microphone right now.
About anything in particular?
Yeah. Or not, because it also. Wait, hold on a second. Let me see.
Did it do it? Yeah, oh yeah. Hi.
Hello, Matt.
My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe.
All right, can you do mine now?
All right, wait. Now I don't know why yours wasn't. Let's go into yours here.
Hello.
And we'll just hold on. Oh, I gotta turn. Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna take. Oh, it's not this.
Oh, you want that?
Yeah.
You want? Okay, ready? Let's do that. Let's mess with your voice. Here we go. Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, it's.
Wait. You don't have to talk deep. It'll do it for you.
No. Oh. Okay. I like that.
You sound like the Lady Chablis.
I do. I feel like I should be on RuPaul Drag Race. Oh my god. I would make a fabulous queen.
Okay.
Come on, I would.
You would.
Okay,
You really would.
let's take everything down for a second.
Wait, you could also do this?
What? Oh, that's exciting. I could do this.
So, like, on Christmas, maybe Santa can bring an elf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we could be Veranda Santa.
What is it?
Veranda Santa?
What's Veranda Santa?
It's a bluey thing. You wouldn't know.
A bluey thing.
Yeah.
I gotta see this stupid cartoon. Is it a
my
cartoon?
God. I want to talk like this for the rest of the show. It makes me so happy.
We could also make it sound like you're on the telephone. Go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
See how it loses all of the fidelity? It's not
No.
as it's not as okay,
No, it's not as cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't like that one. Oh my God. Let's go. Oh my God. Let me take a selfie.
Sing Christmas, Christmas time is here.
I don't know that song.
Oh.
Christmas, Christmas time is here. Something, lots of cheer.
Yeah. So you got that now. You have an effect on your voice, but I just had it if you wanted. What?
I want the low one again. Ooh.
You want the low one again?
I like this one.
Why do you like that one so
I
much?
don't know. It makes me feel like sassy. Right? I love it.
Yeah, it is. It does actually kind of give you a little bit more sass.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Huh.
For the audience, you should see us back here. We're dying.
Listen. So, when I worked at Walden Books, there was a gentleman that worked there who was a drag queen, and his name was Idaho.
Jesus Christ.
And I would go watch him in shows.
Uh-huh.
And it was fabulous. And listen to, I could totally do this. I have been accused of being quite manly. So maybe if I glammed up a little bit and had this voice, I would be an awesome drag queen.
I don't know about that.
Matt, you should do the chipmunk voice one.
All right, let me see. Hold on. Here, trying to get used to how this all works here. So turn that one
Oh,
off.
don't turn it
Sorry, I'm
off.
sorry.
Ah!
I can't. Wait, let me see. Maybe we could do two at once.
No, see, it turns one off. So you're saying I should do the chipmunk voice?
Christmas. Wait, hold on. Christmas, Christmas time is here. Time for something in your ear. Then the wizards me, I want a hula hoop.
You're singing. You sound like Yzma in The Emperor's New Groove when she becomes a cat.
Gosh, that's the best.
I have no idea what you just said.
Oh, Did you never
that's
see the
funny.
movie Emperor's New Groove?
No, but I saw how Stella got her groove back.
Not the same thing.
My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe. Now everybody can sound like Barry White.
I want
with the DLZ creator. Hey, I don't need Huevos Grande anymore.
Oh.
Huevos, you're fired.
Whoa.
Technology has taken your place. If Tweedledee and Tweedledum had kids, they'd be these two. You're back with Matt. See?
And Bethany.
And Bethany.
Yeah.
I had to cut the Veronica out because...
Yeah, but you didn't have the and
Well,
Bethany
because
in,
it wasn't me. It was Huevos.
I don't know how I feel about this.
It was Huevos.
Whatever. Demonic chipmunk.
Demonic chipmunk was better.
Oh, and then there's also the voice of God. Hello.
James Thompson brings up a fantastic point.
Yes, he always does. What does he say
Fish
today?
might have bones in it. That's another reason why I don't like fish.
I like shellfish. The only fish I like is salmon and tuna. Which, by the way, I made a wonderful seared tuna.
We went somewhere, which I will not name the other day, and I had a piece of chicken, and I bit in, and there was a bone in it, and I almost threw up, and then we had to stop eating.
What piece of chicken was it?
It was just like a patty sandwich.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
When you get a bone in that.
And I was like, nope, we're done.
But that
And
should
we
tell
left.
you what patties are.
All the stuff.
They just grind it all together.
I'm just
the
telling
eyes,
you, it was
the beak,
horrible.
the
It
feet.
was not eyes and beak and feet.
It was the bone.
No.
The butthole. It's
why
everything.
does she hate bones? I'll tell you why.
Tell everybody why they hate bones. Why
Did
you
I
hate
ever
bones.
tell this on the air?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no. So when I was like 8, my grandfather took me to a cemetery to see where his family had been buried. And, like a family history trip. Nod. Like I think that makes sense. Okay. And thank you. And so it had just rained and it was an old grave cemetery. And I stepped on where
The body would be.
Go ahead.
I stepped on where the body would be to read the name on the headstone, and the whole ground went.
And that's why you're afraid of bones?
That's why I'm afraid of bones, because from that moment on, I had dreams that a skeleton was coming to get me.
But skeletons are dead. They're no different than a rock.
Yes, and I also, logically, understand that there is a skeleton in my body right now, but I don't care.
Yeah. Yes.
How dare you call me shellfish?
Huh?
Well, I don't know.
All right, whatever. You know what we're going to do? We're going to eat, ladies and gentlemen, because Bethany is hungry.
Play the song.
Thank you, what?
Oh, never mind.
Oh. All right, we're going to go.
All right, bye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you all for coming here tonight. It was great to meet you all and see you all. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Ron. Thank you all for watching, and you guys have yourselves a great one. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin McLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Sidney Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education. So go to patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
Bonfire. Chattanooga.
What seems to be the officer problem?
Eric, be quiet! Buffalo soldier in the heart of America.
Divick Schmibbick.
Stolen from
I said more ham.
0.0. I just hate you, and I hate your
This
ass
concludes
face.
our broadcast day.
Oh, say, can you hear me?
was in the Marines, 3rd Battalion and 3rd Regiment it seems. An only child, but his twin is sometimes here.